Also, the Holocaust happened.
All right, I think we are live. I think it's official. I'm going to sign in so I can chat, hopefully. Need to move my mic.
Covering stories from Gate to MK Ultra. Ooh.
There we go. There we go. Hopefully that sounds better.
I don't see
Verifying
us.
it's you.
Oh, you're still okay. Are you scared to enter your password every time now?
Yeah, 100% scarred now.
Never turning my password to anybody ever again.
Oh my god, this is so annoying. I thought I'd signed in on this before already, but I guess not.
I verified you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that'll fix the chat thing.
Oh, yeah. Like, so it'll show in the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it'll show us right here. All right, cool.
I mean...
You don't think the chat's working or what?
No, I mean, I just don't know if we're live. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't think we are. I'm gonna go check on here and see.
Says we're live right now.
Oh, I
see?
just don't see us.
What do you mean you don't see us?
I guess maybe my phone's catching up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that is. I don't know. But
Okay.
welcome in, you guys. We'll give people a few minutes to cycle in here and make sure everything's good. See, yeah, you are live. See, there we go.
we're
Look,
live.
we got chat here. Just want to try and figure out how
Live.
to get this chat to go away. So I want the whole thing. There we go. Now we got the chat right here, and we can all see it. It's on my big screen. Excellent. And then I've got
Sweet.
our screen here. Let's make sure that we can hear this video before we get too deep into things.
The first step along your path to a gateway.
Can you guys hear that?
If this...
Let us know in the chat if you could hear that.
Woo! What up, everybody?
I feel like I've been live like all day. Actually, let me go grab some water before we get too much into it because I'm already feeling super hoarse. I had to yell at Lulu every single time we threw a disc.
Uh-oh.
Lulu, no ma'am, no ma'am. Because she kept trying to pick up every single disc. So it was like, yeah, I swear I'm going hoarse because of it. But let me get some water real
no.
quick and then that'll give some people
Yeah.
time to come in and
That's
you guys
perfect.
can filibuster and then we'll go.
So I have some 90s nostalgia to share with everyone. I have some little goodies that I've shared over the years, and I figured it was pertinent to the topic a little bit because I was in the Gifted and Talented program when I was in elementary school, and these things are from when I was in elementary school.
Let's hear it.
So, starting off, I've got my hit clips.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She was gonna say, show those off.
Check that out. Who else had one of these?
Did you put any batteries in that yet?
Ah,
Did
no,
you get
I
it to work
should
yet?
have.
How many batteries does it take?
I think AAA's. We don't have any AAA's right now.
I got any AAA's. Oh.
So I had some Soul Decision. Does anyone remember Soul Decision? I had 18s.
18s upside down, bouncing off the ceiling, inside out.
You guys are freaking nerds.
I've got Pink. I've got Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Duh.
Duh. Oh my god, dude.
And then I had the Hit Clips Groove Machine, a little karaoke machine. So this little piece right here is a microphone. Check that out.
That's pretty cool.
And then you can put your hit clips right there.
Hit clips.
And then who wants to see my glasses from when I was in elementary school?
Let's see your glasses.
Put them on, put them on, put them on. Freaking nerd.
Oh, I recognize these glasses too, I swear.
Yeah, so do I. No, put them on. Come on. Come on, Kim.
I have to put them on?
Yeah, you have to put them. You
Oh.
can't just be like, who
them
wants
on.
to see my
Put
glasses?
them on. Come on.
Oh, that's not.
Wait, what the fuck is that? You gotta put them all the way out. What is this?
Put them on,
right.
Kim. See if the prescription's good.
We got,
Okay.
yeah, see how bad the prescription is compared to what you have now. Watch, you
Alright.
could probably still see them. Like,
How's the
perfectly.
script? Why do I feel like the viewer counter is not working? That sucks.
How are they?
Ooh, I like them. Damn, the
you
dream
look-
of the 90s is alive right now.
You look like you're about to go Shagadelic style on
You gotta
us,
zoom- you
go
gotta get
Austin
closer to your
Powers
camera.
on us. You also look like your sister,
Really? I
Yeah, you
can't
look like-
see at all. Which one?
Melissa.
Okay.
Which
well, I
one?
always look like her.
But even more now, though.
All right.
Harry
yeah.
Potter glasses for sure.
Harry
Kim's
Potter.
freaking in Harry Potter.
My camera's literally right in the way of the names of all the people in the chat right now, so I have to like.
Oh, well, you can move it, bro.
All
The
right.
camera? Oh, the
Yeah.
camera's perfect where it's at, honestly. I like it.
Okay.
And then we've got my Dare graduation.
You guys want to know the cutest thing
Photo.
ever? Kim and I both saved our Dare graduation cards, and we have them hanging on our fridge right now. So funny.
I was the Dear Student of the Year, and I don't even have any of that stuff. I don't even know where the medal is that I got, like a medallion.
Damn.
It was like winning the Olympics.
Yeah, and look at you now.
And look at me now.
Girl Scouts Super Troop 2001.
Hey.
Look at that patch. I want to put it on something.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool patch.
I think it's kind of cool and cute.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I had a Mary Kate and Ashley calendar. Duh. The Olsen twins were
Duh.
the it girls. They were the
Duh.
it girls.
Oh yeah, did anybody out there remember watching the Olsen twin? What was that, like their crime show or crime movies that they had?
Oh, I think I do remember what you're talking about. But I did watch
Like-
their TV show, So Little Time. So little time, so much time.
Vaguely remember that one.
And then I had an NSYNC journal. Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
Let's see if there's anything appropriate to share really quick. I got a drawing of myself in here, self-portrait, which was pretty good. Here we go.
What is it? So, that's your self-portrait? It's accurate. It's super accurate. Didn't I just do this?
Okay. And then, oh yeah, I had one more thing. Okay. So this pen, this is proof that I've always been into mini things. It's a mini paper shredder. So,
A mini paper shredder? That's sick.
yeah. And it came with this
I don't feel
little
like I saw that before.
pad of papers that fit directly into it so you can write your note and then shred it up so no one knows.
Shred
What
it
you
up so
said.
no one knows.
Keep it secret, keep it safe.
That's so cool. I didn't even know they made stuff like that.
I think it also would play the radio, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it totally looks like something that would play the radio.
So,
Everything back then is like they put radios in, they put music in every device. Hell, they even did the toothbrushing stuff. Like, what was that called? Like, oh, and it was like specific. Like one toothbrush had one song, and it always like in sync and stuff. Same thing.
oh, I didn't have that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, they were putting music in everything. Like anything to get people to listen to music and do the things that they needed to do, they were gonna do it.
So yeah, some little 90s nostalgia for everyone. While
Yeah,
we-
those are cool.
Get
Cool. Thanks for
into it.
sharing those.
All the little Tamagotchis that are coming back. Jess's daughter, Delilah, has a Tamagotchi, or Ryan has a Tamagotchi. And I was like, damn, I remember letting mine die all the time.
I don't think I ever had a Tamagotchi, but my siblings did. I had a Poochie. Do you guys remember Poochie pets?
No, I never had a
Sounds-
Poochie pet.
sounds really
I don't even
dirty.
know. Yeah, what is that?
It was an electronic dog. Also proof that I've always loved dogs.
Oh, like this like the whole line of what was that? Dog tech.
Yeah, I think
Dog Tech.
Yeah, it's
I
something
think that was the
Logitech
company.
or I don't
Dog
know.
Tech.
But yeah,
Snap
Maybe
bracelets,
that's-
time to heal said. Yeah, I use these snap bracelets to keep my curtains down here when I'm filming, or when I'm not filming. I keep my curtains like bunched up and open so you can see the light with those little snap bracelets. And Kim uses them for wrapping paper.
yeah, because
Genius.
they keep your wrapping paper like together so it doesn't unravel in between use. And then also it helps keep the scraps. Like, so if you have something that, like a little scrap that you cut off and you don't want to throw it away.
Scratch and sniff stickers for real.
Oh, yes. Scratch and sniff stickers.
You know what I was talking about though? Because I work at a t-shirt shop. But when I was a kid, I used to have the dopest shirt ever. At least I thought it was. It was pretty lame. It was just a white t-shirt. But then when you'd go outside, they'd have the UV heat stuff that was activated. And it was just like a giant handprint. But when the heat was gone, then the shirt would just dissipate. I think it had like stripes across the front. But heat activated t-shirts, what happened to that, dude? That was definitely a 90s thing.
That's freaking cool. I never had anything like that.
Apparently it's still a thing. Jess was saying we can get some, and I'm like, Jess, why are we slacking and not getting them?
Literally.
Let's do this.
Epic.
All right. Well, I guess I just wanted to welcome Haas to the podcast.
Yes.
We were disc golfing today with my dad. He's trying to get back outside because he had surgery on his shoulder, and he's trying to play disc golf with his left hand now, which is kind of funny. But it was cool to get out and see him. And then I went live with Ron. And since Haas was down here still, he decided that he'd just come on the podcast with us and hang out, talk about the GATE program. He wasn't in the GATE program. Haas was not smart, so.
No, yeah. I remember you actually asking me that the other day. And you're like, were you in a GT program? And I was like, I was supposed to be in the GT art. And it never came to fruition.
Huh.
I just remember them like asking me one day in class. I don't even remember what grade it was. It might have been like second grade or something like that. So it doesn't even really count then. But yeah, it never happened.
Yeah, so.
They're like,
Well,
actually, he's not smart enough. He didn't pass the hearing test.
This kid
Well-
is definitely not.
He asked
artistic
for more
enough.
fluoride tablets.
Yeah.
It turns out that maybe it was probably for the best if you weren't in this program. But yeah, everyone, welcome back. I really quickly, before we get into it, I want to say this is live, obviously, but we are recording it. So it's going to be posted on Nick's channel. And so it's not one of Nick's typical deep dives. We're here to collaborate and build community and for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, true that. We figured it'd be a good way to get on here and hang out with you guys more, like, I don't know, wouldn't want to say one-on-one, but like
Hang out with
more
the community.
interactive. Yeah, chill with you guys. Because my videos, a lot of channels do the live stream thing, which would be great, to be honest, because editing sucks. But there is something special about the deep dive story format that I'll never let go of. But yeah, I just wanted
a lot goes
to.
into it. There's so many hours of research. There's so many hours of edits that go into it. There's so many hours of recording. Like, it's a very extensive process. So this gives us the opportunity to kind of like talk about different subjects that you wouldn't otherwise be able to cover or go into on your channel. But yes, not as your regular scheduled programming. So that'll take place every Friday for those who don't know.
Yeah, definitely check out the new video if you haven't. Epstein's alive. We already knew that, but check it out. There's some pretty interesting stuff I found in the files that nobody else has really pointed out yet, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, and then I've also been digging into web. If you guys follow Ian Carroll, he's released web, and I've been chatting with his homie Kevin from the web development team, and yeah, I've been able to use it, and it is absolutely sick. It's super sick to use it for the Epstein files because it's amazingly useful. I found some stuff that I wouldn't have otherwise found because of it. I'm going to make some shorts videos about it. And then it's going to be, but more than anything, it's going to be more useful for me in my weekly deep dives because I needed something I could dump all of my information into to help me compile it into a formulated thought, story, narrative kind of thing for you guys into a story, basically. So web is going to be crucial for that. But I've been using that. If you haven't heard of it, go check it out. It's web.io. It's on Instagram. You can follow it. And if you're interested in trying it out, then just message the guys at web over there. And then you can get the password pretty easily. But yeah, we can use it tonight too. I have it pulled up if we wanted to try and use it, pulling up anything gate related. I already asked it some stuff about gate earlier, But if we had any specific questions about gate related stuff, we could always look and see if there's anything Epstein related.
Very cool. I'm
'cause-
sure there is. There has to be, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there is. And if nothing else, the weird medical research that's involved in the Epstein files might also lend. I mean, the fact that he was so interested in kids, I'm sure that I'm almost positive that there's gate stuff. Like, I found another video. If we wanted to watch it, this guy's talking about how gate doesn't necessarily, it's not designed and created for MK Ultra, but they realized its advantages or its uses in what they were looking for. And so I was like, that's kind of an interesting perspective on it. But then looking into the Epstein files, seeing if there's anything related to what we're talking about there. Web will be the best tool because they've got all of the Epstein files loaded into it, and it will pull out sources, documents. We can literally just click the source link. So cool.
That is
Literally
really
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Super cool program.
I've been
Shout
seeing.
out. Ian Carroll and his team.
I was gonna say I've been seeing Ian Carroll post a bunch of stuff out there saying that he really wants to get. He's like, well, you know what? We already reached the capacity of people, or the people that we were trying to get to I don't know, sign up for or get into it. And
Oh
then he's
yeah,
like,
they've been
"We
running through all
surpassed
the
that."
credits.
And he's like, yeah, we are doing it. We're gonna get more out here. We're gonna release it more. We want more people in there. The only way we can fight it is if we get the information out there.
I don't know if that worked. I just tagged Cancel Ian Carroll, so we'll see. But,
Nice.
yeah. It was cool that they followed me, and I had a good conversation with the developer guy, Kevin. He's super cool. So yeah, just good dudes out here doing the Lord's work.
Kevin.
So,
Yeah, Kevin.
who's ready to get schooled, or should I say, gated?
Oh my God. I'm so ready to get gated.
You needed a soundboard for that.
Yeah, wait. Who's ready to get gated?
Give him a big hand, guys. Homeless dude.
Thank you. I love that I can do that now. The soundboard is pretty sick.
Took
that
out
is
2
cool.
lunches to get here.
Yeah, I got to get some better sounds on there, but still,
That's a pretty good sound.
that's a good one. That was the first thing I had to add.
So obviously, we're talking about the GATE program, but it was called different things depending on where you're from. So it's also referred to as GT, Gifted and Talented, or TAG. But yeah, just depending on, where you're from.
Somebody last week when we were talking called it something else. They said it was called something else at their school. It was called like Project something.
Huh.
And it sounded extra suspicious when it's called Project something. Can't remember. And I think I saw it online too. It was like Project Enlightenment or Project something like that.
Interesting. Yeah. So
Stop.
it was all state run. So, and actually, I'm speaking about it in past tense. Apparently, it's still around.
Pacific button. Good idea, Courtney. Sorry.
Yeah, we do need a Pacific button.
Pacific button for sure.
But yeah, I mean, we're going to be kind of going into the history, where it came from, what it was supposed to be about, maybe some fun facts, because I know we all love fun facts here. And then maybe the conspiracy theories surrounding the GATE program. We can start out with this video, Nick. It's pretty long, but just this initial sound even triggers my brain and takes me back to the testing that was done on me specifically.
Okay, well,
So-
trigger warning for any of you guys that don't want to go back to gifted and talented hearing auditory
It's got
stuff.
420 likes, by the way.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
420. Yeah, I almost liked it, but I was like, I don't want to ruin a good thing here. But yeah, I'll play it. And then if we have reactions or whatever, since it's long, then I'll stop it.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes, I think, so we don't have to watch the whole
Sound sparks something in your memory,
Hopefully it's not too
a
loud.
feeling you can't explain. You might have heard it before you were old enough to question it. Thousands of former students across the United States remember being exposed to audio just like this in classrooms and testing labs, in small rooms with no windows, all under the banner of a program called GATE,
So
which
accurate.
stands for Gifted and Talented Education. Most were told it was part of an evaluation. A gifted test? A focus exercise? A hearing test? But what if it wasn't any of those things? What if this sound was part of a government-funded psychological experiment? One you never agreed to, and were never meant to question. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain.
Thinking back on it, though, it does feel more like a psychological experiment. Like, because I even was asking Grok earlier today, like, what benefit do they get out of knowing what your hearing levels are and what your, like the fluoride tablets and like, your vision. Like, what does that have to do with you being gifted? And Grok was saying something like they want to make sure that even if you are gifted and talented in like thinking capacity, that you're not also incapacitated in other senses or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's fair. But if they're gifted, or I don't know, it just still feels like you're being tested on at a certain point, just like she said. It felt like an experiment. It did not feel like I'm this chosen student, like, hey, all right, I'm special. It felt like, why are they doing tests on me?
But what were they doing these tests on you for? Were those related to the gifted and talented program? Because
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know. We just had to go down and like they pulled us out of class and then we were in this thing.
I remember specifically getting pulled out for those tests. I remember when you guys were chatting about this when you kind of like introduced it the last time, and that's the only reason that I have glasses is because they caught it at one of those tests where they test your hearing, they test your eyes, just do like the regular eye test, and maybe something else that they tested. I don't really remember. I just remember those two, and I remember 5th grade. That's when I failed that eyesight test.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I think that like the eyesight tests and stuff like that are different. Those were like for, like, just for getting your eyes tested or whatever. But like the tests that they would run on you for the GATE program were like, they were called hearing tests, but like, I don't know, that's kind of where you delve into the conspiracy surrounding it, where it's like, well, was it a hearing test? Because
It was a jury hearing test.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
court. That's what it
Exactly.
was. Get judged here.
Totally.
What Ron said was, were you done? Sorry, I didn't know if you were done, Kim.
Oh, it was just like, basically, can you hear these frequencies? Are you a child that can hear these frequencies that other people can't hear? But yeah, that's all I was going to say.
No, that's kind of the same thing I was going to say with what Ron mentioned earlier when we were talking was that those frequencies, they're testing to see how susceptible you are to different levels of subliminal programming with different levels of sound, different hertz of sound. And I was like, damn, that's interesting. I never thought of that. And I mean, when Kim and I were talking about it, I was like, I remember feeling so proud of myself. Like I could hear every one of those sounds.
I'm special.
Who can't hear it? Yeah. But then you're like, wait, you could hear him too. And everybody could freaking hear him.
Yeah,
So you're like, wait, what?
Those clunky headphones kind of trigger me too, take me back because,
Yeah, they do.
like,
Tap the side that you can hear.
yeah, or like raise your hand for which side the sound is on. And I don't know. So like when I first remembered the Gifted and Talented program, I saw a video by Museum of Tarot. And for, I think, anyone in this community, I think they would also appreciate his videos. So feel free to check him out. But his video popped up on my FYP one time and immediately kind of just like had this gut feeling like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And it just felt off. And it's just funny because apparently I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that are like, yeah, it doesn't sit right with me in hindsight and we deserve answers because like there's definitely some dishonesty in what they were actually doing and conducting, I think.
I just remember feeling like it was such a waste of time. I was like, none of these, every time they pull us out, we like goofed around hanging out with Mr. Shepard. Like nothing weird ever happened. We just like did cool math problems and Mr. Shepard was actually really fun. He would come up with ways to like tell stories to teach math. So it was fun because he would like tell us a story and we'd use that story to solve a math problem. They were pretty hard math problems, so it did feel like we were special. But it was like 30 minutes once a week or like once every other week or something. It was so stupid. And so that's why looking back on it, I was at the time, I remember thinking this is so stupid. Like, this seems pointless. Why are they doing this? Is this going on my resume? Like, how is anybody going to know that I'm a special, gifted, and talented student? Like,
Right.
And then same thing though was with that fifth, sixth grade combination class I was in. That was a part of that. There's some other gifted and talented programs will actually combine those students with the next grade up. So they're not like skipping a grade necessarily, but they're like learning from a 6th grade teacher that's teaching lower end 6th grade students, but we're high end 5th grade students. And so I was like, that's kind of been interesting because I was in one of those programs. I was in that program where we were in that class. It was like a fifth, 6th combo class. That's why I was so close with all the kids above me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, But yeah, besides that, I just felt like Gifted and Talented was so pointless. So then looking back on it and finding out that people were saying that there is weird stuff going on with MK Ultra and all this testing, I didn't even remember the testing stuff until you mentioned it, the hearing tests and like the pink tablets, like somebody was talking about in the comments. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot all about
No,
that.
the pink tablets were 100%, like that was like, oh yeah, that's what it was. And like there's people that report that they just had to swish that liquid. And then there's a lot of people that say they were actually told to drink it.
I don't remember if I had to eat it or drink it. I do remember the tablets.
I definitely don't remember the tablets at all.
I think I snorted it. I don't know. It's a
You
good
would.
chance. Yeah, I probably did.
You should play the video though.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I got derailed, but I was just thinking about that. Like, yeah, it feels like an experiment.
On the GATE program, and the disturbing possibility that it wasn't just about identifying gifted children, but about conditioning them, studying them, and in some cases, controlling them. What most people remember as GATE was supposed to be simple. A government-funded program designed to support gifted children, the kids who finish their worksheets early, who read above their grade level, who tested unusually high on standardized assessments. At least, that's the story we were given. But now, thousands of adults, people who have never met, never spoke, didn't grow up in the same state, are recalling memories that do not fit the harmless picture of a gifted education program. Memories of being pulled from class by someone who didn't work at the school. Memories of windowless rooms, strange boxes, Zener-style cards, headphones attached to briefcases, hypnosis-style audio, mysterious pink drinks, and the repeated instruction to visualize. Don't guess, visualize. These are not part of the curriculum in any district handbook. These are not the tests given by school nurses or guidance counselors. And yet, the details match across thousands of people from the late 70s to the 80s and 90s. People separated by geography, but connected by memory. Because when we compare these recollections to declassified government programs from the same decades, the overlap becomes too strange to ignore. Predecessors to the GATE program emerged in the late 1950s. Coincidentally, this is also around the time the federal government stepped directly into public education through the National Defense Education Act. They funded psychological tests, IQ screenings, creativity assessments, and early childhood evaluations designed specifically to identify children who showed unusual potential. That part is documented. That part is real. But here's where it becomes unsettling. At the exact same time, behind the scenes, the CIA was running covert behavioral experiments. Projects Bluebird, Artichoke, and eventually MK Ultra. They were studying hypnosis, memory alteration, remote viewing, sensory manipulation, and altered states of consciousness. And every single method they used shows up in the memories of certain GATE alumni. The headphones, the tones and frequencies, the guided imagery, the dissociation, the visualization tests, the missing time, the amnesia-like gaps in childhood memory. The timelines match, the techniques match, and the population being tested. Now, to be clear, we do not have proof that GATE was part of an MK Ultra successor program. We do not have a document that says this happened in schools, but the patterns, the timing, the memories, and the psychological methods involved are not random. At some point, the question becomes, were these truly gifted programs? Or were some of us quietly filtered into something else? Because to understand the memories resurfacing now, we have to understand the systems that created them. And one thing is already certain. GATE was never just about academics.
So wait, there was the part about the CIA, MK Ultra having the same amount of kids or something. I missed that part.
We're studying hypnosis, the amnesia-like gaps, the missing time, the amnesia-like gaps in childhood memory. The timelines match, the techniques match, and the population being tested. Now, to be clear,
Oh, okay, they're saying the techniques between MK Ultra, CIA research programs, and the GATE programs were all very similar.
Yeah, they were similar, and the timing surrounding the start of all of these things is too coincidental to be coincidence.
Artemis, where are you from in Colorado?
So there's been programs that are similar to this. They've been around for a long time. So like in 1868 in St. Louis, a superintendent called William Torrey Harris started the first systematic public school program for gifted kids. And then in the early 1900s, Lewis Terman was considered the father of the gifted education. This guy from Indiana invented the modern IQ test, and argued that super smart kids were being overlooked in boring classrooms.
So wait, why was the IQ test made? Do you know?
I actually don't. I think like this guy supposedly thought that smart kids weren't being challenged enough. So kind of a way to like show where people are at compared to
here
their
we go.
peers.
It says Alfred Binet, French psychologist, developed the first IQ test in 1904 at the request of the French government. The primary purpose of this was not to measure innate intelligence, but to identify school children who were struggling academically and needed special ed. But, okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. So they just wanted to make sure or see which kids were behind.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
And then like smart kids were, supposedly being overlooked in boring classrooms or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, just kind of a way to bring in like recognize who could be like future leaders and kind of like cultivate those skills, build on them, keep, I don't know, kind of a way of like damage control, so to speak, because there were kids that were acting out because of boredom. And I don't know, the standard classroom setting was not right for every student. So, they would do like advanced math problems like you talk about, Nick. Creative projects, independent research, learning a foreign language, STEAM type stuff. I remember doing like decoding and like, I don't know, stuff with like those images. They're called something specifically.
The inkblot images?
No, they're like shapes, like cards with shapes on them, and you're supposed to like predict the patterns. It was like,
Hang on, let's look it up.
it's almost like kids were pulled out for like if the teacher could recognize that student was excelled at like pattern recognition almost. And so it's kind of funny because most of the kids in
I don't
GATE
think any of these are it.
in the GATE program are said to have like ADHD or autism.
What would you say to look those up online?
They're called like it starts with a Z, because it's like a test. I think I have a note of them somewhere. Let me look it up. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to. The nefarious, gifted, and talent. Ooh, here we go. RBI. What the hell?
Arby's?
What is this thread? The Reddit Bureau of Investigation. I recently came across some people on the internet, especially on Reddit and TikTok, claiming they have elementary school memories of these GATE programs that involve several exercises. Most commonly mentioned being wearing clanky 90s headphones and listening to audio clips, brainwashing them to be susceptible to out-of-body experiences and lucid dreaming. That's what somebody else, I think it was Time to Heal, was talking about lucid dreaming, and you were talking about that last week, too.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that last week, yeah, because it's these same people, a vast majority of them are said to have the skill of being able to lucid dream, which, I don't know, according to the research that's kind of coming out and the more people that are talking about it, that's connected to actually like astral projecting or remote viewing. So in other words, like being able to access a location via your mind or your spirit, I guess. So it's interesting that not everybody, but a vast majority of the kids that were in this program also have lucid dreams. They have recurring dreams. They have very vivid dreams. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely have recurring dreams. And when I do have dreams, they're really vivid. I just don't have them that often.
You know, it's weird actually. So we talked about, or you guys talked about the sleep stuff on your last one, and I I don't think I've ever actually experienced.
Jen, what's up? Sorry, you guys. Jen's in here. I just had to say what's up. My
Jen.
favorite gal on YouTube.
Hey, welcome, Jen. What up?
All right, keep going, Hoss. Sorry.
Oh, what
You were
was I
saying we were
saying?
talking about the dreams
yeah,
last
yeah.
week.
The first time I've never had sleep paralysis or like that feeling of not being able to move, but like your eyes are open and you're like, I felt like I was in a dream, and I still don't even know what happened, honestly. But I just remember waking up, and it was like a couple of days after that podcast last week on Wednesday or something. And I woke up and felt like somebody was like right next to me saying something, and I was just sitting there, and I felt like I was in like a like wrapped around me, like I felt like they were wrapped around me.
Oh no.
And I was literally just like in panic mode, like, what is happening right now? And then I think I went back to sleep or something and totally forgot all about it. Thought I dreamt it. I was having some crazy dreams
That's
that
wild.
night too. I
So
don't remember them, but
I saw a few nights ago that actually, you know how I was talking about how you're not supposed to ask your dream characters what the date and time is?
right.
Otherwise, yeah. So I found a lady that talks about that and how if you do that, you're actually going to trigger sleep paralysis. So I wonder if, like, in your subconscious mind,
I
in your
had done that.
dreamland, you did it. Yeah, and it caused the sleep paralysis, because that's what that is. That's
It's like,
sleep
we
paralysis.
gotta put a hold on you right now.
Yeah, because it's people that are like joining on different timelines, supposedly, like in your dreams. It's like,
Mhm.
so when you ask them that, you're like messing up. You can mess up the. I don't know.
The
I don't even have the
groove.
words. Yeah, the flow of the dream, and you can like freak people out and cause mania, and I don't know.
You threw
So-
off my groove.
Emperor's New Groove.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah. So, let's see. Where was I?
You were talking about how. Oh shoot! Now I
His-
forgot.
So the IQ tests,
Mhm.
and then he had a big study in 1916, that followed the like high IQ kids for decades, proving that they weren't like just nerds, that they could be like future leaders, like I was kind of talking about. But then in 1957, with the Soviet Union's Sputnik launch, America was freaking out, and the Russians were supposedly going to beat us to space. So suddenly, gifted education became a national security measure. So by the 70s, the federal Marland report defined giftedness broadly, including creativity and leadership, not just IQ. Then, boom, in 1988, the Jacob Javits, sorry,
Whoa.
Gifted and Talented Students Education Act passed, pumping federal funds into the programs. It's been reauthorized ever since, even though the funding can be spotty depending on the state. And like the requirements in each state are different. So like in Tennessee, they require any gifted and talented teacher to go through like special training for their gifted and talented students. But like other states are just kind of like whatever. And it's just so broadly like defined, in my opinion. So like it's supposed to give students a more advanced, enriched, or accelerated learning than what the standard classroom can provide. But it literally just it's not supposed to just be for geniuses. So it's supposed to be for exceptional creativity, leadership skills, talents in the arts or sports, learning disabilities. And so for me, like I'm like, that's so broad and inclusive, which is cool. But like it begs the question, like, is it deeper than that? Like, if it's so inclusive, yet it's supposed to be this special program recognizing like I'm like every student, that includes any student, basically, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's like it's deeper than that. It has to be.
I feel like you're right. It has to go deeper than that.
So yeah, in trying to, I don't know, I guess cultivate like and accelerate those students that were recognized as like accelerating quicker in the classroom.
But
That's cool.
here's my question though. But like, does anybody have a story where they were excelled further than the classroom? Like they were so gifted and so talented that they were put in touch with somebody outside of the school even that was doing some other research on something that may have been government related, but didn't know it at the time.
What do you mean?
Well, I just wonder what. Okay, so say they find Stranger Things 11 going to French Elementary, and she's in Gifted and Talented, and then like, do you think that there's something beyond the Gifted and Talented program at French Elementary that she then gets scooped up into because of being identified by the school as gifted and talented?
I mean, yes, absolutely. And it's funny that you make that reference because a lot of the theories that are going around say that, like, that's where the Stranger Things storyline, plotline came from, was from this program.
Yeah. Well, and I also saw something about people relating it to Epstein, and the guy, the scientist guy that runs the labs, looks
Bill
just
Nye?
like Epstein. Yeah, Bill Nye the Science Guy. He looks just like Epstein. And then just him running all those weird experiments and them being like biologically related to him as well. I just thought it was kind of interesting. The correlation was definitely there. And then to think about it being related to the GATE program as well. And in knowing like Epstein was funding all kinds of weird research, and it was all having to do with kids. So I would highly anticipate that he did have something to do with maybe not necessarily the GATE program specifically, but probably something beyond that. You know what I mean? Where they were doing research studies on certain things and they sourced kids from these different research or these different GATE programs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that there is conditioning and stuff like that kind of goes into the conspiracy side of things, but like I think so, absolutely. It's a way to like what's the word I'm looking for? Like scout out the people that would be good to work those government roles. But in my opinion, like they were doing damage control. So like they were these kids that were showing that they had heightened psychic abilities. They were being fed fluoride, which has been scientifically proven to calcify your third eye and your intuitive abilities. And so like, and they're having us literally drink fluoride.
Yeah, which
So-
to me, I'm like, there is no possible explanation of the fluoride thing that makes any sense with gifted and talented. That I there's no correlation.
Yeah, like
Also, real quick, we
Super
had
weird.
Proxy Party 247 said, yo, I was in the GATE program and I just escaped a Mormon murder ranch.
oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And they said that they had a premonition dream that saved their life. Kim can relate. She wasn't hardcore like on a murder ranch Mormon, but she definitely grew up Mormon.
Murder
No,
ranch.
And I wouldn't even say that I had any like serious trauma surrounding being raised Mormon. I think that there's a lot of really good morals that I was taught growing up, and maybe that's just because my parents are freaking awesome. But yeah, I hope you're all right. What was their name? Or I guess it was just their username.
Proxy Party 247.
Well, Proxy Party, I hope you're okay and that you're getting the support that you need, and I hope you take care of yourself and that you stay away from those crazy people and live a good life.
And yeah, Utopia, this will be on my YouTube after. All of these go up on my live section. You can rewatch them anytime, any place. But sorry, go ahead, Kim. Keep on moving. I think, yeah, the pink tablet thing, though, I couldn't imagine a world where that has any relevance to the GATE program. Like, what have you figured out about the pink fluoride tablets?
What was that?
What's the deal with the pink fluoride tablets? Why is that even a part of the gifted and talented experience?
I mean, there's no answers out there. Like, that's why people are so upset, because it's like we deserve answers. Like, after our live last week, I chatted with my mom for a bit, and she was like, I had a feeling she'd be upset finding that out. And she was. She's like, I never gave permission for that. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, none of that stuff was like ran by our parents. I feel like I told my mom that I was in the GATE program. I was like, yeah, they pull me out of class. I do cool stuff.
Yeah, but supposedly they were supposed to get parent permission. But I don't know.
Which is crazy because they always had to get parent permission for the lamest things sometimes.
Okay, look at this lame explanation right here. The fluoride tablets or pink rinse in the GATE Gifted and Talented Education Program were primarily part of a school-based dental health initiative aimed at preventing tooth decay, but only for the smart kids. All the dumb kids didn't have to use the fluoride stuff. Like what? And I didn't mean that insensibly, but I was just like, what kind of reasoning is that?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, so all the kids in the SMART program get this fluoride stuff to dumb them back down. That's what I thought. I was like, if they're smart and fluoride's proven to dumb you down and calcify your third eye and be so damaging to your intuition, maybe that's what they were doing, was like, they're trying to keep us. Because if you think about it, back in the day, that's what it was people couldn't read. So the people that could read made the rules and told people how things were and what was going on. And so now everybody can read and figure things out on their own. But if they're doing things to actively try and suppress our abilities, keep us from using only, less than 8% of our brain.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, in post World War II America, it was, it's kind of like presented as just this huge initiative to make us competitive, make our students, competitive in a world of like growing and expanding technologies and whatnot. So the idea was to, make it tailored to students' specific needs. But I think that I don't know. Personally, I think it's much more than that. It's supposed to be kind of about like, I guess, the psychology of being called gifted, which I think is wrong, because then think about what it does to the psychology of the students that aren't selected for it. Like,
Yeah.
it makes them feel like, oh, am I not gifted?
Yeah, that's so true, though. Well, and even being in the gifted program, you almost feel bad. Like, okay, cool, I'm being mildly recognized, but it's in this really awkward, like I'm just getting isolated from the rest of the class, going on my own to this separate group. And I don't know about everybody else, but my group was like 4 kids. It was like me and 3 other kids.
Yeah, so this is something that's interesting. A lot of the kids that were in the GATE program report to like having certain memories triggered by certain things, but for the most part, it's like these memories are suppressed. So like when you say like it was a small group for you, I'm like, I actually don't remember. Like I remember being in it for multiple grades, and I remember at one point, like there's just certain bits and pieces that I remember, and there's a part of like being in it that I remember going out to like a trailer. And it's funny because a lot of students report that too.
Yeah,
so
they
it's like
built those trailers.
yes, so that was part of it. Like they wanted to separate these students for a period of time. It wasn't just about taking them to another classroom. It was literally taking them out of the school.
I do remember those trailers actually. Those were the ones.
Just built those.
Those were the ones that were outside the school, right?
Yep.
But then they later ended up using those for actual classrooms later on. I feel like when they.
Yeah.
But I do remember those being used as like the gifted and talented trailers.
Yeah,
for sure.
But isn't that interesting? Because multiple like students from adults now, but from all over the country report that those trailers were built at their schools too.
I'm surprised we didn't see any crazy glowing lights coming from inside of those.
Right?
Freaking beam these kids up.
Yeah. So, and it's said that like the supposed hearing tests that they were conducting were actually like hypnosis being done so that you would suppress these memories and not remember. And so it was like, and it ties back into like, okay, so they were testing like hypnosis and like, are we able to use this as a tool in whatever war maybe? But yeah, a lot of people are like, I don't remember how many people were in the program with me. I don't remember what we did. Certain memories can get triggered, but like for the most part, it's gone. And that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, I don't remember how many kids were in it with me. I don't remember what students were in it with me. I just remember certain things.
Peter Estrada said, I remember they also made permission slips that you did not have to return back to school. It was supposedly understood that if you came back with the slip, meant parents read the slip and said no. So, like, you didn't have to actually have your parents take the slip, sign it, and bring it back. They only just had to sign it if they didn't want you in the program.
Backwards.
Yeah, so then kids 90% of the time are going to just forget about it.
Yeah, and so like
Bodhi 100% of the time.
a non-response is a response kind of thing where they're like, oh, well, we can only assume that they are okay with it, which is so, like, I don't know, messed up and proof that it's kind of maybe a little bit more sinister than what meets the eye. Like, yeah, they can present it as like, oh, it was to like help students excel and whatever else. But I'm like, there's too many things that are just like working against it that I'm like, no, this is a little nefarious and wrong and just doesn't sit right with me. And even people like Candace Owens talked about it at one point. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, it is definitely weird, but it makes a lot of sense actually, especially if it started during the Cold War. A lot of weird stuff started during the Cold War because they were trying so hard to find any edge over the Russians, or any reason to start getting an edge over the, you know what I mean? Like they were looking for any and every excuse to find something, even though we were feeding the Russians that information anyway. So it's like, I feel like it was all manufactured, the whole thing. Whoops. I wanted to bring up Web real quick, see if there's some stuff we can start searching in there.
Yeah, let's check it out.
What else did you have, Kim?
Well, we can talk about some fun facts.
Let's do some fun facts.
So, GATE isn't just an American thing. There's similar programs that exist worldwide. So in Canada, it's called Calgary's GATE for grades 7 through 12. I guess in the U.S., only 37 states mandate the services. So I'd be curious to know, like, what those 13 states are that don't mandate. And why are they being left out? Like, there's a reason for everything. Everything's intentional, you know? So.
Not true.
No?
Mostly just coincidence.
Yeah.
Everything is just a coincidence.
Yeah, dang.
99.9% of everything.
Except, what is it? What is it? Epic recipe? Epic recipe. Said they got pulled out of class for reading too slow, and I know just from being in the teaching world, obviously people like that got pulled out just because it was to help them read better, so they'd understand the content easier than reading at the level that the class was reading at. So then they're not getting the understanding of the material necessarily, so they take them into another classroom so they can give them specialized attention. It was basically just another way of saying, you might be autistic, and so we're just going to check into that real fast. Not to throw anybody under the bus, but that's what they did for those, because they just wanted to make sure that all kids were learning at the right level. So
yeah, and I think I read a lot about that too, is that was a lot of it too with the testing, was to try and figure out if kids were autistic or not, as they started figuring out what autism was.
That's artistic.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes, shout out to Ian with Mr. Webb and my boy Kevin and any of the other developers. The story of it's really cool. They just linked up with Ian. They made the Buyer app. They made this app. But if you guys have been curious about Webb, this is Webb. I just searched a question. I said, did Epstein have anything to do with gifted and talented students being sourced for research? Also, we're at 272 viewers. Let's get that over 300. We can do this. Hit the like button, hit the share button, do some work in that department, you guys. Let's get this over 300. I don't think I've seen it over 300 before, so let's make it happen. But this is Webb going through its thinking process. Super interesting, and obviously there's something going on because it's thinking quite a bit. But this is the absolute best part of Webb right here. Epstein's educational background and early teaching. Let's see, skipped 2 grades and graduated high school at age 16. I thought Epstein wasn't that smart. But see, look, it'll tell us this stuff, and then it'll provide links for anything that it finds. So Epstein himself was in the gifted and talented program, which is interesting, knowing he's an asset.
Mm-hmm.
But it also says he attended the National Music Camp at the Interlochen Center for the Arts. Boom, link. That's the best part of all of this. You just click the link and it's right there. It takes you right to the part in the document and it's got the EFTA number. So you're able to source everything. You're able to double check things. And it doesn't just like give you the document. Like when you search in the DOJ website, it gives you the document, but then say the document's 350 page PDF file, then bam, you're looking at a 350 page search through this. You're going to have to download that, put it in Adobe and then search it in there. It's just a huge process, but this is just, I think, legendary.
Yeah, it totally is. That's amazing. And I feel like they like came out with it so quickly considering how incredible it is. So to all the people
What?
that coded and created and crafted this project, like thank you.
This says,
amazing.
so Epstein went to the Interlochen School of the Arts, and it says the Interlochen School of Music, a school for gifted children who are talented musicians and singers, appears as a significant connection point. Epstein had a cabin/lodge on the Interlochen campus. Wow. The hell, dude? Multiple witnesses recall an Epstein named lodge on the campus at Interlochen, and that Epstein and Maxwell would fly together to Interlochen. And here's the document it pulled up. Let me try and read this here. See if we can find where it says that. The first time blank recalled Jeffrey Epstein's name come into his life was around blank, give or take about 2 years. And blank was in 9th grade during the summer of blah, blah, blah. During the summer of 69, Brian Adams and, I don't know, I can't think of another name, attended Interlochen for summer school. Blank thinks he heard of Epstein's name during his last year of summer school, which was blank after that. Blank did not visit Interlochen during the summer until blank was attending Interlochen full-time during the school year. There was an Epstein-named lodge on the campus at Interlochen. Blank heard of Epstein's name through Interlochen and also through blank or blank. That's kind of weird. Epstein had the same place he went to school and was in the gifted and talented program. He had a cabin and him and Ghislaine would come visit. That's kind of strange in my opinion. And let's see if this is the same document here.
That's super strange.
Different document. Oh wait, never mind. That's because I went to a different thing. So we've got, this is probably the same document. No, this is a different document. Epstein and Maxwell would fly together to Interlochen. This person was interviewed. They said that they only met Epstein twice. Epstein wanted blank, a lot of blanks, to move in with him and a lady named G. Does not talk to blank about the case as she cries, and lots of blanks. Okay, Epstein was present at Interlochen, and he was a godfather figure. Blank said he could sue Interlochen because they knew what was going on. Epstein was with Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell told blank that she would pay for blank's scholarship at Interlochen. After 2 years, Epstein and Maxwell were stubborn and kept asking blank, but she didn't know at that point that they were already seeing blank at Interlochen. Around 1995 to 1996, Maxwell contacted blank about Maxwell.
Redacted.
Redacted. 1995 to 1996, they were out actively trying to procure young kids from this Interlochen school. That's the same year that JonBenet Ramsey disappeared, 96. And anytime I see something like that, I'm trying to connect dots because I am a firm believer that something happened to JonBenet related to Epstein. Maybe not directly, but something happened. But anyways, I think that's really weird. These kids are recalling that Ghislaine and Epstein were lingering around their school, trying to get them to join. What? It just says that they would pay for their scholarship at Interlochen and that they were stubborn and kept asking blank, but she didn't know at that point what they were.
I think we know what.
Yeah, you're probably right. For massages.
I think we know.
All right, let's move on a little bit here. Multiple witnesses recall Epstein named lodge. All right, we already went through that, my bad. Epstein made substantial donations to Interlochen, including $12,093, $10,093, and $1,092. Okay, I don't think that's that exciting. One witness testified that Epstein was a godfather figure. Yeah, we went through that. Epstein offered to host an event at his office and or his house in Manhattan to support Interlochen. That's weird. Yeah, let's have a freaking party at my house. Support all these young students.
So, username millennials_best said, so you think the same kind of monster people could have messed with Michael Jackson and he could have known that they were monsters. I don't know if they're talking about something in the chat that I didn't see before, but just to like respond to that, I totally think yes. And I actually like burst into tears the other night because I was so sad at like the thought of how much Michael Jackson went through. And there's people that are saying that like they think the song Dirty Diana is about what's her name?
Ghislaine?
No. What is her name? Diana
Ross?
Diana Ross. Yes, and that she like seduced him and like what's the word? I think my brain is just not working tonight. The fluoride's getting to my brain. What is it called? Where like an older person like just takes control of a younger person?
Mentor, kind of?
No,
Grooming?
like in a bad way. Yeah. That
Grooming?
she just completely groomed him and like like if you listen to the song and read the lyrics, it's like, yeah, that was definitely about Diana Ross. And people are saying that like he made Neverland or whatever at his property as a way to try to protect these children because he became akin and aware of like what was happening. And so he tried to step in and protect them, but yet he got painted as the monster. And it's just heartbreaking what he went through. And it's terrible.
Yeah, and I can't lie. I was firmly under the veil that I didn't really know what to believe. And I kind of just automatically accepted that he probably did touch some kids. But then after doing that video on Michael Jackson, I was like, man, I've been wrong for sure this whole time. Like, there was no doubt in my mind either. That's the worst part. It's just like so obvious now, but it was so sad. Like, I can't believe that they did that to him. He's such a pure soul. And really, he did. I mean, all the kids that he brought to Neverland were usually like really famous young kids that needed a place to escape the awful world of the film and Hollywood industry because it is straight up PDF land. And so they needed a place to go where they could trust somebody to not do stuff like that. They could be a kid and enjoy fun things and not feel like there's predators around. And man, it's just so sad. But everybody knows that to a normal person, Michael Jackson definitely looks like he touches kids because who likes kids that much to bring random kids to their house and just show love to kids in a completely platonic and normal way? Like, it's
Right.
not normal.
A lot of people say it's because he was autistic as well. And
Hey,
so
we're at 3:30, you guys. Yes.
Hey,
Way
shout
to
out
go.
for 3:30. Let's go.
Way to go, you guys. All right. Well, that doesn't mean you're off the hook. Keep liking and sharing.
welcome, everyone. It's so nice to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, it is nice to chill with all you guys.
But
Welcome.
yeah, there's people that are saying that they think Michael Jackson was actually autistic. Maybe that was part of it too, that like he related with younger kids as like in a playful way because he had a playful spirit. So like, I don't know. I guess that's a possibility and a theory too, but I definitely don't think that he was a weirdo, and it's just so sad. And like I remember growing up, like when stuff like that was happening and taking place where, you know, kind of his name was being dragged through the mud, and like my mom, we love Michael Jackson's music, and I just remember kind of having some conversations with her where she was like, you know, and let me say this too, like my mom's always had like a good like judge of character, and like there's certain actors that my mom and I are both like, ugh, like we just get a bad feeling about them. And but anyway, that aside, she was like, I've never gotten like weird feelings about Michael Jackson, but like I just don't. She just never felt like it was necessary to like not listen to his music, because obviously like if he had done those
Yeah,
things,
right.
we would have been like, oh, we're not listening to his music, like he's a bad person, blah blah blah. But my mom was never like, I just can't fully accept it, and I still like want to listen to his music, and I think he's very talented, and I just don't know if I fully believe it. Like she just was always very skeptical, and so
Yeah, same. Definitely skeptical. Just like Dave Chappelle said, but he made Thriller.
But he made Thriller, man. Come on. I know.
Yeah, even if he was a PDF, I don't know if I could stop listening to Beat It. Or, I mean, seriously though, there's no part of me that thinks that he was, and there's no evidence. Every case got thrown out. He only settled every case because he was trying to keep the word from getting out. He was hoping that by paying these victims, it would keep the word quiet so he wouldn't get thrown under the bus. But it did the exact opposite. Maybe because he's naive. I don't know. There's probably help outside of things going on. But yeah, he definitely thought that by paying off these people and settling, he was just going to squash the whole thing. It wasn't going to go any further. They got what they wanted. They got their money, and it's not going to get out any further than that. But then it was worse. And then paying people off made him look guilty. And then the smear campaign that happened after that, the Wacko Jacko stuff, he didn't stand a chance.
mm-hmm.
I feel so bad for him. He never had a chance. Like from a kid, he was famous, didn't have a childhood, forced to work by his dad, abused by his dad, just like somebody said in the comments. Yeah, just absolutely crazy.
It's terrible.
And yeah, I was just seeing what Webb had to say about Michael Jackson in the files. And basically all he says is that there's photographic evidence of Jackson. Epstein arranged for Jackson to call a victim on her birthday, and Epstein sought tickets for Jackson-themed shows. But that's pretty much it.
Hmm.
And the photos, I mean, as we all know, the photos don't prove anything. Everybody has photos with Epstein. But let's get back to this one here. Did Epstein have anything to do with the gifted and talented? Epstein was described as having a knack for identifying future emerging talent and was involved in bringing together researchers like Stephen Kosslyn and Alan Dershowitz.
Epstein did 9/11.
The Harvard crimes. Epstein did 9/11. 100%, dude. Epstein bombed 9/11.
Literally everything happening these days, it literally just sounds like, oh my God, you can just blame Epstein for that, for sure. Like, it's in the Epstein files.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's crazy how much is found in the files. It's wild.
The moon landing is in the Epstein
Dude,
files.
I'm telling
probably
you, it's
is.
all connected.
It probably is.
Epstein made up the whole thing.
Israel landed on the moon.
Epstein assassinated JFK.
Oh my god.
In addition, Harrington says Epstein also funded a working group which examined the PLA state of the field. I don't know. She says Epstein is known for his interest in unconventional and cutting-edge developments. Oh, that's what it is. The page is cut off. I was like, I feel like there's parts of this word missing. Harrington says that she and Epstein met through Harvard's mind-brain behavior program. Okay. Well, I mean, I still think that's kind of interesting. He definitely seems to fund a lot of research having to do with intelligence and brain stuff. A lot of brain-related research. Let's see what this says. Harvard connections. He had a knack for identifying future talents. He gave $10,000 to business students when they signed on to our program as a huge recruiting tool compared to normal stipends of $27,000 per year. But that extra money don't come with no strings attached, bruh.
You always got to read the fine print.
You will be turned into a human Sentai pad on Epstein
Yes.
Island and forced to do
I was
things.
just thinking about that.
Hang out with Andrew, now formerly Prince Andrew, the artist formerly known as Prince Andrew.
The artist formerly known as Prince
Oh,
Andrew.
dude. Prince Andrew needs to adopt a symbol to be his new name.
Welcome to the stage.
That's funny. Let me see what else this says. Educational assistance. In a 2012 email exchange, Epstein was asked to help a talented and gifted person with her Harvard Business School application, with Epstein responding, "Have her complete the application, but give it to me." Sounds mildly creepy. Have her complete the application and give it to me.
Put that application down now.
Jeffrey, attached is Taylor's resume for your evaluation. She is still interested in attending the Harvard Business School. She indicated to me that her enrollment will be in 2015. She hopes an opportunity will present itself at the Discovery Channel in New York City when she graduates from Syracuse in May. She has completed 2 internships there. I don't understand how Harvard Business School enrollment works. She has taken the GRE. Taylor wanted me to ask you if you should apply to Harvard Business now, or if you think there's a different approach from your assistant. She is a talented and gifted person with my work ethic. She is a talented and gifted person with my work ethic. If
What
you're
up,
able to,
Hannah?
who is this person? Redacted, sent this to Epstein. Jeffrey. See if that. Thank you, Larry. Probably Larry Summers. Okay. So why? I mean, Epstein obviously has connections. I wonder if this is, if it is Larry Summers, then maybe it's like his daughter or something. And he's trying to get Epstein's help to get her into this school.
We need his help.
How cool is Web, though? Seriously. Like, literally, it just pulls out all the references of gifted and talented. And then here, let's just, I want to go through the last couple of references, and then we'll go through, like, it gives you, like, an overview of what it just brought up. So it says, Epstein's Foundation sponsored scientific symposiums in the U.S. Virgin Islands, enabling local interaction among Nobel laureates and faculty, postdoctoral researchers, graduate and undergraduate students, educators, and the public. I mean, so that's not really gifted and talented. That's just him having really, really smart people from the U.S. Virgin Islands. But he did start this scientific symposium. But this is what Webb says in reference to my question, which was, did Epstein have anything to do with gifted and talented students being sourced for research? Webb says, patterns and concerns. Several concerning patterns emerge. Access to gifted students. Epstein's connections to Interlochen, a school for gifted children, and his financial support created access to young, talented students. The godfather figure role. Multiple witnesses describe Epstein playing this role with students, which could create dependency relationships. Scholarship control. The offer to pay for a student scholarship at Interlochen through Maxwell suggests financial leverage over students. Sure does. And then while Epstein's support for scientific research at Harvard appears legitimate on the surface, the timing and context raise questions given his known predatory behavior. And then this is the thing I probably love the most about Webb is he shoots you straight, dude. He says, what's missing? The documents don't show explicit evidence Epstein's systematically sourcing gifted students for research in a predatory manner, but they do reveal extensive access to gifted student populations through educational institutions, financial leverage through scholarships and donations, pattern of inserting himself as a mentor/benefactor, and then connections between his educational philanthropy and locations where the abuse occurred. And then the most direct connection appears to be through Interlochen, which I think is pretty weird. I did not know that he had a cabin at Interlochen and was that involved with these gifted students, trying to source these really smart students. But if you think about the fact that one of his main goals in terms of eugenics and his whole DNA experiments was he wanted to seed the population. He was constantly trying to impregnate as many people as he possibly could because he was that much of a narcissist that he thought that he was doing the world a favor by putting more Epstein genes out in the world. And I mean, whether that's true or not, I'm not the one to say. I disagree, but I mean, he seemed to think that his genetics were superior. But if he's looking for other young girls to be able to impregnate and further this genetic seeding of the planet, you'd think that he would want gifted and talented youngsters to be the ones that he's doing it with instead of just, your average kids or your average females.
Yeah, maybe. I saw a theory the other night that said that the reason that they are taking away women's rights to birth control and abortions is because they want to have children that they can easily have access to.
Yeah.
Because people that are having kids that don't want to have kids that would have otherwise had an abortion or been on birth control. They're going to give those kids up for adoption. And supposedly CPS was founded by someone Epstein related.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hmm.
Let's ask Webb. It says it right now in beta testing. It says it's best to just start a new chat.
You know, I think there was an ad during the Super Bowl, I think, about adoption. I don't know if it was during the Super Bowl. Maybe I'm just tripping and just it was during a reel. But there was some crazy ads during the Super Bowl anyway. But still, been seeing some stuff about that where it's like pro-choice, but like pro-life as well, also, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that ties in at all.
Yeah, it's like subliminal messaging. They're trying to, get people to think about those things even subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, Dylan, the turkey baster child is crazy. I agree. The Jean Benet chick, what was her name? Esther Tizer Cohen, whatever. Yeah, that was a wild letter. And the fact, what was the purpose of the letter? Like,
oh yeah, who mentioned something about Life Touch? Did you guys hear about the Life Touch stuff? Yeah. Maybe I think you mentioned that, and then I actually started.
I didn't hear about this.
I actually started seeing stuff about that.
Yeah, the companies that take all of the K through 12 photos for
like
every student in any public school, they are Epstein related.
Wait, you said Life Touch?
Life Touch.
Okay, well, forget CPS. We're asking about Life Touch. I'll start another new chat.
Should.
You just got me on.
You know, what was it? I was listening to a live, actually, from Sean Atwood's channel. And, Sean Atwood is in the Epstein files because he went to his property and stuff like that or whatever. So one of his properties.
No, he was going to like a co-conspirator's property or something, and he was like accosting them, trying to get them to speak out about it.
He had it on video. Yeah. He showed it when he went live, and I saw it. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I was like, literally, if you had that's the thing about being named in the files is like any association, whether you delivered a pizza there, you're going to be in the files.
No, dude, you're definitely in the files if you delivered a pizza there, bro.
Interesting choice of words.
Yeah, okay, Hoss. Yeah, you get a pizza delivered to Epstein Island, you're definitely on the hot list, dude. I don't care if you really just delivered that pizza.
That was just the first thing I thought about. I don't even know why.
Of course it was.
Like we should have worded it like Grubhub, but now again, now it doesn't even matter, But yeah, like literally,
you can't even use food as an option anymore. Food all is tainted by PDFs.
If Jeffrey Epstein went into a Starbucks and ordered a coffee, and you were his barista, then you're in the Epstein files.
That's true. Yeah, you're
probably in his credit card statements. I don't know if your name is on there, maybe not, but like it's anything.
Yeah.
Anything gets
That's
your
what
name
I was
in the
telling.
Epstein files these days. It's insane.
Yeah,
that's what I was
be in the
talking about
files.
with Ron today
I'm
too.
definitely in the files, probably.
Hopefully, yeah. I should
X-Files.
search our names in the file. Am I in the Epstein files?
Did you look up
I'm in
Joshua
the
Kenyon?
X-Files.
DJ Petrovsky, is he in the files?
X-Files.
Yeah.
You're in the Kim's definitely in the X Files. She's extraterrestrial.
David Duchovny's definitely in the Epstein files.
No, but to go back to Gate, they say that there's a podcast episode. I'll have to find it, and I'll have to link it or something. But they say that was part of it, that they were trying to get kids to like communicate with aliens. So that's interesting because usually they say
we need
that
to push that.
a lot of those kids too are like super into like looking for UFOs or aliens, just like the subject of aliens. And I'm like,
we need to push that stuff. Why are we not finding out who can talk to extraterrestrial?
apparently Nick, he was in the program.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I was.
yeah, I was. Trust me.
I don't know.
Trust me.
And you're like, I think the most alien obsessed person I know. So it is interesting.
There's aliens
Might
for
mean
sure.
something.
Ron showed us that clip today on our live. He showed that clip of Obama saying, "Oh yeah, they're real. I just haven't seen them."
Oh yeah, I saw that clip today too. Actually.
Yeah, it was like, oh, there's proof of aliens, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, there's no proof of aliens. Like,
Well,
what's happening?
That's what Ron was talking about earlier today when we were live. He's like, yeah, they're gonna just start dumping all information on us now because there's so much bullshit going on that nobody's gonna be able to sift through and figure out what's what.
Isn't that what they did in? I don't know if this was during the pandemic during 2020, but wasn't that when they like announced the whole alien thing and everyone was like, "Oh my god, they just released the knowledge of aliens."
Yeah, but now they're saying no. Like, oh,
No, we're just making that up. We just wanted you guys to have something entertaining during COVID.
Yeah. It's just a drone, just drones.
It's just
Okay, so
just weather balloons, guys.
now,
Yeah.
and I'm just going strictly based off of what I'm finding through Web. Web is saying that after conducting multiple searches across the entire document selection, I found no direct references to LifeTouch, the well-known school photography company. And this is what I was going to say earlier. I said this to Ron too. I've been seeing so many people who have come across some of the things that I've come across. And I've also been like, oh, that's interesting. But then when you click on the actual EFTA document, PDF file, and you look at the file and see what it actually is, you can very quickly rule it out as being important or not, because you're like, oh, this is just like a newsletter that was sent. And there's a lot of FBI communications that go back and forth and like FBI update memos that get sent out because they have FBI emails in this document dump as well, like between the FBI agents. And they'll have like these FBI memos that'll talk about current events and things that happened during this investigation. And sometimes it'll be like this event or like Britney Spears was mentioned, but it's all just in relation to like current events being mentioned in tandem with stuff in the FBI like investigations. And it's just these memos highlighting what was going on in the world. But people are then saying like, oh, Britney Spears is in the files, or like this person's in the files and this person's, but they're not actually showing you what actually it is that's in the files. Like it doesn't matter if you're in the files. It matters what you're doing in the files.
Right.
And so people are like, I was saying that to everybody earlier. Like nobody's putting EFTA numbers in. Nobody's trying to cite their sources. Everybody's just trying to sensationalize. Look what I found in the Epstein files. And it's like, yo, we actually are trying to figure out like what the hell is going on with all these files.
Even still, with EFT numbers and sources being cited, it's important that everybody just does their own research and like just, kind of proves things for themselves. Like just do your own research, because with the era of AI and technology that we're in right now, it's hard to know what's real, what's fake, because people can create whatever and within seconds they can create whatever. So just always do your own research. Like there is a video I saw the other night of somebody saying like, oh, Joe Rogan's in the files, just like that, like just to make people think, oh yeah, like he's scum of the earth. And
because they know that you're gonna click that video and be like, wait, Joe Rogan? No way. And you're gonna look because it's clickbait.
Yeah, and then they don't do their own research, and then that's how misinformation gets spread. And it's a slippery slope.
Sometimes I've found some really interesting stuff doing my own research into a topic that I've debunked, but then I found some other stuff that's just as, if not more interesting. So that's always that's kind of the way I go about doing my videos, is I try to just go into it trying to debunk all these conspiracy theories, and I try like end up either substantiating them, or they're just too convincing to toss out. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I fully agree. People need to be citing their sources. But if you are interested, if you see something and you're like, oh, that's crazy, just like follow it up. It doesn't take long. You can follow it up a little bit, find a couple of articles from some mainstream sources to back up what you're saying or what they're saying. But yeah, the sensationalizing of things and like the people posting, like, I mean, I'm grateful because I got 9.2 million views on that video, but the video I posted was clearly AI photos when you saw the full photo, and there's a Gemini watermark in it. And like when you really analyze that everybody except for Epstein in the photo was blurry, like Haas, you can attest, you're a photographer.
Yeah.
Like the guys immediately next to his face are not going to be blurry like that, like where their faces are all completely blurred out. And then Epstein is perfectly in focus.
Yeah, that's definitely an after effect or something like that.
It's just AI, dude. That's what it is.
You could totally make that look exactly like that perfectly. Like I said, too, that same photo that you're looking at with the two bodyguards that are walking by, I saw a video. Literally, they were like, look at his pants, all the people's pants. And you can see all the wrinkles matched up perfectly with like how they were. Like if you could pull the picture up, like pull it up and look at the pants, and it's kind of wild how you're like, it's literally the same crease like on each person's leg.
Yeah. I still think he's alive. And I feel like he'd definitely be growing his hair out like that. But still, yeah, the photo is definitely fake.
Also, to do a little side note, everyone's talking. Hannah mentioned this movie called, I think it's called Bugonia or something like that. And I looked it up a little bit and saw.
Shout out Hannah.
Shout out Hannah Banana. And it looks great. It looks like it says like what, 2 conspiracy people or whatever kidnap, or someone's a Martian or someone's an alien in it, and Maybe that's the one that I saw that was like a comedy. I swear there's like two or three different versions of this movie that I saw. So maybe somebody can clarify it up. It was made in 2025. Is that correct?
I don't know if I've ever seen this movie.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either, honestly. And like I said, I don't even know if I'm looking up the right
And it's about
facts.
aliens?
Yeah, like this one right here says 2 conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company convinced that she is an alien. And then I got to read more, but
Ooh.
I'm like, that alone
How
sounds
have we not
great.
talked about this yet? Or maybe we have, and I just
Yeah,
forgot.
she's an alien intent on destroying the Earth.
All right. That's what we're
Earth.
watching. That's our next movie that we're watching.
The whole Earth.
Feature film.
Feature film. And it said it's effed up, so.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's got Emma Stone.
Ooh.
I know I have that photo on my computer somewhere, but trying to find it's going to take me forever. So
I was
find
going to
it
say,
on
you did
here.
a video on it, didn't you?
yeah, but
I mean,
I remember the
that's
last
it.
time I searched. Yeah, are you talking about this one, Haas? Oh yeah, you're right. The wrinkles in their pants are totally the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I don't know. You can't see it on this one, but the other photo that I have, that's why I wanted to get the photo that I have because it's the original.
Yeah, that one where they're like blurred out, but they're like not really that blurred out, you know? Like you could
This
totally
one?
tell who these fools are. Yeah.
Yeah, like these guys are totally digitalized, and then his face is perfectly clear. It's even worse on the other one, though.
You know,
This one right here.
He almost looks like the Big Lebowski.
No, he definitely looks like the Big Lebowski. I thought the same thing. The thing for me, and I said this in my shorts video, was like they just conveniently get like 5 shots of Epstein walking through the streets.
Yeah, like, and they're not gonna
That's real
flinch at the fact
convenient.
that there's a photographer
Yeah, they're not even
over
they
here
don't give a
taking pictures of him.
don't care at all that there's a photographer. Yeah, see, look at how blurry this dude's face is, but how clear Epstein's face is. Both of them. Like that doesn't happen with normal blurring or bokehing. His face might be blurry, but it's not going to be freaking morphed into like digitalized like that.
I know, literally. I could
But-
barely do that in
I wish I
Photoshop.
could find that actual photo to show you guys the watermark because that's
The Gemini watermark.
yeah, it's got the Gemini watermark.
I've seen that because it's in the very bottom right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hannah says that you have seen that movie.
I
by the way.
have?
Yeah, she said you have seen it.
I suck.
So it gets dark. Kim, we have.
Oh, man, I suck.
Wait, Epstein dive maybe? No.
But
Sorry, I'm hell-bent on finding this picture now. No, you guys can keep talking. I'm just going to keep looking for this picture. That's all I'm saying.
okay, so this is interesting though, like because I was looking up the different theories that are surrounding the GATE program, and I don't think we fully dove into those. So,
No, not at all. Let's do it.
okay, so the first theory that I came across is the pink drink test, and I can confirm I definitely drank that stuff.
Is there any video that we can find on like people talking about that, or any
About the pink
examples?
drink?
Yeah, or maybe even
Um,
somebody like having exactly what it was. Somebody that blew the lid off of that.
I can show you guys like a picture of what they look like. Is that helpful?
The picture's cool because yeah, literally, I didn't mean like because we went to the same elementary school, and I never, to my recollection, ever did that.
Yeah. So, I mean,
What about you, Hannah? You went to the same elementary, but did you have to do this little pink tablet? It looks like a Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, yeah, yeah. See, I remember those. Here, let me pull it. Hang on, let me pull it up on here. What is it called?
I mean,
Can you just
this is-
airdrop it to my computer?
Sure.
The pink tab.
The pink tabs.
Okay.
Yo, let me get some of the pink
Kim,
Teslas.
You haven't seen Kim, you haven't seen the movie. But
Oh.
Hannah said that she's talked to you about it. So
Oh, okay. I was like, dang, I don't even remember a movie I've seen.
you ain't that crazy. It's okay.
All right.
Look at this picture. What is this?
I airdropped it to you.
Wait, where'd it go?
What is that?
Oh, wait, yeah, look at the shoe. There's the watermark right there at the bottom.
Oh, what a weird place for the watermark.
I just wanted to see this picture. Hang on, look at this. New leaked pictures of Jeffrey Epstein. I hope that's what he looks like right now.
I don't know if I talked about this last week or not, but I definitely waited on his doppelganger at work, which is...
Oh, you didn't talk about this, but you told me about it.
Okay, yeah, super crazy. And like the guy, he looked just like Jeffy Eppy.
Jeffy Eppy.
Oh, wait, it's a photo that you took? I thought it was an internet file.
It's not a photo that I took. It's just a photo I took from the internet.
You could just send me the internet links because it'll pull it up on the internet for me, just so you know.
Smash that like button, everybody.
Smash the like
Smash
button.
it, obliterate it, violate that like button.
So yeah, that's what they like. That picture, that's exactly what
Yeah.
I took.
I
That is
remember those
exactly
too.
what I took.
It's wild.
And yet again, what's the point of taking that? What is the purpose? What does that have to do with being smart?
I don't know, but so like the theory is saying that
The fluoride treatments.
like during these sessions, certain people would experience hallucinations and heightened senses. And people are saying that it was a low-key LSD microdose. So like a link to MK Ultra to unlock psychic potential, like remote viewing or telepathy. Some say it tasted like strawberry Kool-Aid. Kind of weird. I drank the Kool-Aid. I don't like admitting that.
At Enterprise, they always talk about drinking the green Kool-Aid, but
Yeah, so it would lead to visions, shapes, or codes. And like the students would be able to predict the future, or like I was kind of talking about last week, there would be tests where there'd be a sequence of events happening in a series of photos. And so the student would be shown a photo, and they'd be like, okay, what's happening in this photo? And the student, it'd be like a picture of a sandwich. And then the student would answer with like showing that they had those intuitive or psychic abilities. So they'd be like, oh, this is a picture of somebody that's about to get food poisoning. Instead of just being like, oh, it's a picture of a sandwich.
yeah.
So, but I don't know. I don't know if I agree with the LSD thing. I feel like it's more likely that it was fluoride.
I would know if I tripped when I was a kid. I've done a lot of tripping since then, so I don't remember ever being dosed. Would I remember it? Probably.
Dude.
I feel like I'd be traumatized. Getting dosed sounds like, and as somebody who appreciates and enjoys a good psychedelic trip, that would be the worst thing to ever happen, ever. You just get dosed one day. You're just like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
Especially if you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, now go back to class. And you're just like,
Yeah. Your hearing works.
That's just their way of picking you out and being like, take
Yeah.
this kid out of here right now.
Get this kid out of here.
Something is wrong with them.
you need to be expelled.
Go put them in the quiet room.
Yeah, he went from gifted and talented to special ed real quick. I don't know what happened.
All right. So another theory says, okay, so there was weird worksheets and code
Okay,
breaking for
okay.
alien comms. Kids
What
reported
did I just find? Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Kids reportedly did bizarre exercises with symbols, Russian phrases, or alien languages, plus Zener cards. Oh, that's the name of the cards. I don't know if I'm saying that correct.
What is it?
They're called Zener cards. Zener.
Excuse me?
I'm
I don't
sorry.
know, wait,
What
I
did
don't
you
know if
just
I'm
say?
saying that
What
right.
did you just
Call
call
me.
Z-E-N?
ER.
Zener cards?
Oh my gosh.
Let's look at some pictures here. Let's look at some images. So wait, what do they do with these cards?
I don't know. It's like
Let's look.
pattern recognition and
Let's see what
memory, ESP testing.
Zener cards. Deck of 25 cards, each bearing one of 5 simple symbols: a hollow circle, a plus sign, 3 vertical wavy lines, a hollow square, and a hollow 5-pointed star. With 5 cards for each symbol. They were developed in the early 1930s by Carl Zener and used by parapsychologist J.B. Ryan at Duke. Okay, don't care. In a typical experiment, a subject guesses the symbol on each card without seeing it, while the experimenter records the results. Literally trying to find telepathy, which is what I was looking. That's what I found on the CIA.gov website with some stuff about telepathy. Sorry, but they statistically random guessing should yield about 5 correct answers out of 25. Scores significantly higher than chance were initially reported, but these were initially reported to where? But these findings were later discredited due to methodological flaws such as sensory leakage, card marking, and inadequate shuffling. So critics, including scientists like Irving Langmuir and James Alcock and Zener, labeled Rhine's work as pathological science, a modern parapsychology. Okay. So they were basically just testing telepathy. They're seeing if you could guess the shape on the other side of the card based on not seeing it.
And I remember doing that.
I don't think I did that. No, I think I did do that. I did some sort of like telepathy kind of a experiment. I don't know if it was exactly those though.
Yeah. Yeah, so that theory says that basically, like I was kind of talking about earlier, that it was a way for kids to potentially communicate with aliens. But the thing is that there definitely was that testing, and there also was like decoding worksheets, because I remember doing that. I remember having to solve codes. And then there were certain students that would be like taught Russian, or they would be taught, what is it called?
How old were you?
I don't know.
You were young though?
It was either, I think it was around 3rd grade.
We need you to decode these special things and speak Russian right now.
I was never taught Russian, but I did get given decoding like worksheets.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We need you to figure out what this code means. We're just passing it around to students now to see if they can read it. You
Yeah.
got nothing to lose.
Isn't that crazy?
It's from Area 51 probably or something.
That's freaking crazy. What was it called though?
Freedom of Information Act, electronic reading room. Have you guys ever heard of the electronic reading room?
No.
No.
So I was just scrolling looking for, because I've heard, I was watching this video and they were talking about these kids that had proven telepathy. They're like mute kids who don't ever speak, but then they found out that these kids speak telepathically, and they're able to like manipulate the environment. Also, somebody up in the comments said that Elon Musk's Neuralink filed trademark applications for telepathy and telekinesis on March 3rd, 2025. With the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. That's pretty wild. They're officially filing for trademarks on telekinesis and telepathy.
That's crazy.
So, like, they must have something that they've designed. Neuralink, I mean, it kind of does. I mean, Neuralink literally transmits stuff from your brain to local devices.
Well, I mean, it's easy. We already have devices out there that allow people who can't communicate verbally
Yeah, that's true.
read what they're thinking.
Yeah, like Stephen Hawking.
Like Stephen Hawking, yeah.
But right here, as I was scrolling down, it says telepathy could be real. CIA.gov, reading room. Browse the collection. And then it says, welcome to the Central Intelligence Freedom of Information. And then it brings you to the electronic reading room. Oh, this is not the same. How did that happen? This is a completely different looking webpage. Maybe I need to click the PDF.
Yeah, some students were taught Morse code. That's what I was looking for.
Morse code.
By the way.
Though 58% of all Americans believe they have had telepathic experiences, researchers are just now beginning to corner it. The people they study, talented telepathic receivers, produce results that defy mere luck. Wow.
Wow.
I don't want to just read through this while you guys sit here, so I'm just trying to skim it to see what's up. But telepathy could be real. And this is a document from 2001 in the CIA FOIA archives here.
Interesting.
They've been studying telepathy for a long time, for sure. Which is another reason why when you said the whole 11 thing, like, because I'm pretty sure like that was a big piece of that is like she's telepathic, right? She can mess with stuff with her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're definitely looking for that. And that's why they're looking for these gate kids, because there's certain gate kids that may exhibit certain symptoms of being especially smart, and then they actually exhibit further symptoms of having telepathy or some other, I don't know. There's got to be other, like, what other possible things could somebody who's extra gifted exhibit?
Pattern recognition
Yeah.
abilities. Yeah, because there's people that are more attuned and like better at it than others, and I think that you're definitely one of them. I think that's what makes you so great at doing what you do for your channel and doing your deep dives.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
Just need to make sure we keep giving plants plenty of electrolytes.
100% Hoss.
Oh,
I couldn't have
yeah.
said it better
Plants need-
myself.
Plants need electrolytes.
I give my plants liquid IV every day.
Who was that in the comments? I know what they're definitely referencing it. That movie Idiocracy. Love
Mhm.
that movie.
It's a good one. Nick told me that's one movie he hasn't
Brando.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
seen.
I don't think I have seen that. No.
Oh, dude, who is that? What says Owen Wilson's brother?
Oh yeah,
What's his
Luke
name?
Wilson?
Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he does a good job.
It
in
is.
that
Well,
role.
We're coming up on the 2-hour mark here. I
Oh, wow.
want to make sure if there's anything else Kim wants to get through, then
Okay, so I'll go over the other theories if that's cool. So
yeah. We still have like, I would say at least 10, 15 minutes
That's
left. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything that you had on your list.
so yeah, like to go into or finish up the second theory that I was talking about. So the theory is that they were scouting for kids who could communicate with extraterrestrials, decrypt signals. It was tied to the CIA's Gateway process, which is a real declassified document that they used binaural beats for out-of-body experiences and interdimensional travel.
Here it is right here. Analysis and assessment of gateway process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which there's nothing, I guess, that like ties them directly to each other, but it's like too coincidental to be coincidence again. So I don't know. Leave that up to you guys to decide.
Fight in the comments.
So there's a twist here. Like, what if your doodles that you wrote on your notebook were actually subconscious ET sketches? And I
333.
cannot help but think of the S that we all drew.
Oh yeah, you should
As
talk about that,
kids.
Kim, because that was actually really wild.
And how did we all know?
Hang on, you
how
guys know what
to
S
draw
she's
it?
talking about? What was it? What do you call that?
I don't know.
There's a better example than in this one floats around in the same path. I haven't heard anybody say as far as like that gang S symbol that was like a money sign almost. But the rumor about Marilyn Manson and him removing his rib, that whole
Oh
rumor.
yeah, I know.
How
right?
I see like, people making fun about how like, like how word gets around now, but it's like that was a rumor that got around when there was no social media. We were all little kids. How did rumors spread like that all across the globe? Like it was global. Crazy.
What rumor?
The Marilyn
do you
Manson
mean, what?
rumor
You know
about
what
how
we're
he
talking
removed
about,
the
right?
ribs that he could do,
So he could suck himself off.
so he could give himself some sloppy toppy
Oh,
with a twist.
I think that was something that they also said about Trevor Moore.
I don't know if I did
Oh,
hear
really?
that.
How
But
come I
yeah,
can't
Never
find
heard
it
of that?
online,
Oh, man.
Kim?
Maybe
What
I
would you
did.
call it?
I would say the gate program S. That's what I would freaking Google because
Sound
that's
off
what
in
it
the
is.
sound off in the chat if you also heard about that Marilyn Manson rumor.
Okay, well, it's not coming up, but I can draw it for you guys.
Draw
Yeah,
it.
but how am I gonna? Oh, I guess you can
Oh, it's
show it on
easy.
your
It's
camera.
it's like the line,
yeah.
and you just connect them.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm about to show.
Do it.
Okay, so you start with 6 lines like this.
The screen is a little off over there, so don't.
Wait, why'd the sound go out?
Because they don't want us talking about this stuff.
Oh wait, no,
anymore.
I didn't. I'm just dumb.
Oh.
Man, how come I can't? It's not even
Okay,
online. How can
So
you not
then
find
you
it?
connect these lines.
Radio show. That's exactly probably how it spread. The radio is how we got all of our news.
Wait, I don't know if I think I might already messed it
On
up.
everybody's favorite hip hop channel, their local station. In the Springs, it was 98.9 Magic FM.
Magic FM. Why does it not exist online? That's so frustrating.
Oh, I think I drew it backwards. Whoops. Yeah, I think I did. I messed it up somehow, but
It doesn't
that's
matter.
the idea.
Oh,
Hang on,
they
let
can
me
totally
see it real
that.
quick. I'm gonna Google Lens it real quick. I want to see if I can find it online. Let me see it real quick, Kim.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll definitely find something on the internet about that. Maybe it'll even give us the origin stories of the gang sign. No, it looks right when you put it up in the camera. Actually, it was the right way.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was
it's
totally the right
because
way.
it's mirrored in the camera, so that was perfect that I drew it
Yeah,
backwards.
because it wasn't. It
I
was
did
a
that on
backwards.
purpose, actually.
This
It was a
drawing is
backwards
known
S,
as
right?
the Cool
Yeah.
S or Stussy S.
The cool S. So how did we all know how to draw that, and why did we all have it somewhere on one of our notebooks and one of our sketches during class? How?
Because we were all
Before
hooligans.
YouTube. We were before YouTube.
Here, why is it still so elusive though? Like you type it in directly and it's still hard to find. But this S right here, everybody drew this. If you did not draw this in school, actually, if you did draw this, drop a comment because I feel like more comments is better.
Oh, it was not a backwards S. It was a regular S. But
Yeah,
still.
it's a regular old S, but
Yeah, because you would draw it and then you would erase the lines, right?
no, you don't even have to erase them. You just don't connect the other two lines. You only connect them halfway.
This was basically just pre-graffiti. This was just like getting kids ready to go graffiti and tag up all their favorite spots.
No, but what is that, and why did we only know the S? Because I don't know how to do any other letters like that.
Well, and why did everybody draw it? I
Why?
only drew it because my friends drew it, but why did my friends draw it? They drew it because their friends drew it. Who
And
started this shit?
Does it have any relation to the Roman Empire?
Haas is one of those guys constantly thinking about the Roman Empire.
Literally, like what is that? It's so weird.
Became popular in the 70s and 80s, and it lasted all the way through our school. Are they still drawing this shit in school?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Oh, they definitely don't draw that. They're instead of doing that, they're writing 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Despite its frequent association with the fashion brand Stussy, the symbol predates the company and was never an official part of its branding. Emmy Coates, who has worked for Sean Stussy, blah, blah, blah. The Cool S is believed to have originated from geometry textbooks or child lore with possible... Child lore? What does that mean?
Kids and their friggin' lore.
Kids and their lore telling stories.
Kid lore.
With possible roots in medieval scripts. Haas, you were right.
I knew it.
It comes from Roman medieval scripts.
Medieval.
It has been found in historical artworks such as Hans Holbein's 1533 painting, The Ambassadors. All right, let's look this up. I want to see what this painting looks like. It's just a giant cool S.
Val_love says it's a symbol passed down from Atlantis.
Atlantis.
I'm down with that. I can.
God.
I'm hopeful that it's something better than something to do with the government because I'm over it.
This is the Ambassador's Holbein that it allegedly comes from, the symbol, the cool S.
Okay,
I don't
but
see it anywhere.
How do we just? It's just ingrained in us that we all knew how to draw it.
Yeah, but okay, so what Hannah said, well, she just said, ask Bodhi to draw the S, but if we truly are ingrained in us, then he should be able to draw it. You say, Bodhi, draw the S.
Draw the cool S.
he'll be
Draw
like-
a cool S, yeah.
He'll be like, "Shut up, Mom! You're annoying me."
Mom, stop. I'm trying to watch my videos.
I'm playing Roblox, Mom.
Gonna go hang out with LaFonda.
I want to.
Wait. In 2020, the symbol was trademarked in the U.S. as the S thing by an individual who stated he does not intend to enforce the trademark. Today, the cool S remains a nostalgic, widely recognized doodle, often sold as retro stickers and decals. But it doesn't have any explanation. Their explanation is geometry textbooks or child lore.
Child lore.
Yeah,
Children
because
in their lore.
It's because we drew it in our textbooks, so now it's ingrained in our history.
I want you guys to see if you can figure out where the hell this stupid S came from and report back to us.
The first one to figure it out
Wins.
becomes an elite member.
They
Gets
want
a sobering,
tinfoil
gets a
hat.
sub-sober's hat. Yeah.
Gets a sub-sober's
Man, I made a
hat.
tinfoil
Ooh.
hat thinking we could sell it, but then it definitely didn't work. It was just not good. It took a whole roll of tinfoil and just wasn't working.
Anybody out there produce
I
tinfoil hats?
low-key think that we should make hats, though, with copper meshing in them because that is supposed to protect you from, like, the
Oh, you could
programming
do
and
it-
signals that are
You
put
could
on
do
us.
it with the lining,
So, just
lining
saying.
on the inside of
idea.
it, like Grassroots does.
Yeah.
Quick shout out,
Oh,
Grassroots.
I should ask
They,
Grassroots
they
if
always
they
do
could
the special
something.
lining on the inside of the hat that looks cool. Just make it like silver.
That'd be cool.
Sober
Tell them to make it
AF.
just straight up make it aluminum.
The Sobering Stories collab with Grassroots, bro.
Dude,
That'd be
how
sick.
cool would that
That'd
be,
be so
man?
sick. Yeah, I'll hit him up. You should talk to him about it.
I should.
Yeah.
It'd probably be expensive, but if
Yeah, it
everybody wants
probably
one,
would be.
if we sold them,
Yeah, I
then
mean,
we'll
if we
do it.
sold them.
If there's interest, we're gonna gain some interest out of this right
Well,
now.
I mean,
Anybody
dude,
out
I'm
there
telling
wants
you,
one of
the
these.
tinfoil hats, it could just say like, because I've seen so many tinfoil hats out there now, like tinfoil hat beanies or like tinfoil hat baseball caps. But that's a good idea, to where it's just on the inside, like all the grassroots hats have the cool inner lining, and we can make it like a tinfoil. Looks like tinfoil. It's not really tinfoil, but like Kim said, it could be made of copper or something, to where it's like meshed with copper.
Yeah.
So it actually is protected from all the Wi-Fi and radioactive frequencies floating around in the environment.
Dude,
Yeah.
that would
Actually
be
a good idea.
That would be sweet. I don't know why. That's actually a great idea.
All right,
Could work.
we're gonna do it eventually.
Robert Maxwell
right.
created child lore. Aren't you right about that? Shoot, guy that wrote our textbooks. That was literally the craziest bombshell to me. Like everything else in the Epstein files is wild, but mostly we already knew. But Robert Maxwell being the owner and operator of Macmillan Publishing, who wrote our textbooks. And I think it goes deeper than that. I saw another video recently that it goes way deeper than that. It's not even just Robert Maxwell writing the textbooks. Like the whole education system was basically reformed and created by the Rockefeller family and a bunch of rich families. So all the stuff that we learn was written, as we expected, by these rich, wealthy families that have been the winners over the last 100, 200 years. So I don't know. Crazy stuff.
Mhm.
Before we hop off, Kim, sorry, I know we got distracted again with the other stuff, but with the S thing. But is there anything else you wanted to finish up with before
so
we
there's
hop off?
a few more theories. So there's the theory about the headphones. So saying that they actually were playing the binaural beats and brainwashing kids. And theorists are claiming that they were Monroe Institute style audios from the gateway process, like I mentioned earlier, to induce lucid dreaming or astral projection, prepping kids as psychic spies. This was an evolution of the Stargate project, which also is a real CIA program, testing remote viewing for military intel.
Yeah, I can't remember which one I talked about, the stargazing program, but they were looking into kids who were telepathic or could predict. They were looking into people who could predict crime or like use their telepathic abilities to see criminals or identify criminals and stuff.
Operation Nap Time.
Yeah. But I was actually looking into the Monroe Institute earlier because I was looking into who made those headphones, and it was the Monroe Institute, and they're a nonprofit research organization that makes these headphones. And it says that they're experiential programs for research and guided meditations founded by Robert Monroe.
Wow.
So they aren't just a headphone company. They're made specifically by a company who does research on this kind of weird stuff.
Might mean something. All right. Theory number 4. It was recruitment for a neurodivergent recruitment pipeline. So Gate allegedly targeted twice exceptional kids, so somebody who is gifted with ADHD or autism, because their brains were wired for supernatural aptitudes, suppressing memories via hypnosis. The theory is that this funneled talent into Black Ops programs, explaining why many Gate grads feel different or have vivid dreams. So, I don't know, maybe.
A mother's sword said, look at the patent for AirPods. It is reading thoughts. That's a new one for me. I'm really going to look into that because that's curious. I wear my AirPod all the time, and if they were going to try and read your thoughts, it would be through that shit.
Well, and if you look at like celebrities that are caught out in public with headphones on, it's always wired. They're always wired headphones. And I was like, really? And then I started to look into it, and I was like, actually, there are a lot of like paparazzi photos that show celebrities with, if they have headphones on, they're wired.
What kind of phones are these
They're not-
people
they're not
using?
Bluetooth.
Because phones these days don't even have auxiliary jacks in them. So they're using their old school, either MP3s, iPods.
They got their
or-
iPod out.
You
Or
can
if you're
get-
like me, you're using the Zune.
You can get an easy.
I still got a Zune.
You can get a little adapter piece to plug into your charging port
Oh, see?
to convert it into a headphone jack.
I mean, you got to go that extra step if you don't want to get those microwaves. Even though, I mean, they are saying that, like, you should not use wireless earbuds because just...
Oh,
right
man,
in
it
your
freaks
head.
me out. I love my AirPods and
And
I
you
love my
wear-
Apple Watch.
You wear
but-
those all day,
Yeah.
every day.
But
basically.
it definitely, I mean, they've tested it. I've seen people bring out radiation meters and test just your phone with 5G Wi-Fi turned on and turned off. It doesn't matter. Your phone is constantly emitting and receiving radiation on a constant basis. and then sending those signals. Same thing with your watch, which is, I mean, I'm sure if anything, like you're getting constantly fed in radio waves from your watch. Plus, it's scanning you with radio, with UV light to like pull your heart rate and your whatever else.
That's
Classic
why
digital.
I don't wear it. And like the Aura
Casio.
ring, I will never wear an Aura ring. I wanted to, but I won't.
Yeah, Haas
and
and his 1970s
No.
grandpa watch.
No, but he's smart for
Iced
that.
out, baby. Iced
He's
out.
smart
Don't
for
talk
that.
about ice, dude. I don't want to get the stream banned.
Yeah.
He's smart for that. I don't know. And it's a testament. This theory is kind of a testament to how frequencies can affect us. So like there's different frequency levels that are supposed to be healing. They used to use them in hospitals, like tuning forks that were specific, like attuned to a certain frequency
singing
that would
bowls.
be healing. Singing bowls, binaural beats, like there's certain ones that are like between 4 to 8 hertz that are supposed to help you to manifest. And so there's a lot of research surrounding that. So I mean, this theory is definitely possible and likely. But anyway,
YOLO.
the last one is that it's a global leadership conditioning. Some say that gate worksheets on world maps, codes, and leadership were grooming for elite roles in a new world order, with the CIA using schools as a soft funnel for future assets. The pink drink included nanobots for mind control. So, yeah, who knows?
That's a good point, Courtney, with the removable batteries. I didn't think about that. But Kim, I'm fully on board with that. That's what my personal feeling about everything has been, is that they are using it just like all the secret societies that exist in all the Ivy League schools. Those are secret societies that exist to funnel people into the cabal, essentially. That's why these secret societies are so, I don't know, why they're so important when it comes to conspiracy stuff. Because this is where, I mean, when you look at how many guys go through these different Ivy League cults or secret societies, they all end up, most of them end up in really important, powerful, wealthy positions in life. And so maybe it starts as early as the gifted and talented program, funneling you then into whatever, Ivy League schools into secret societies into political careers into whatever.
And I mean, Nick, you know a lot about MK Ultra, so like, do you think that this was an extension of MK Ultra? I mean, like, isn't there proof that they conducted LSD studies on kids, or no? Am I not correct in that?
I'm sure there is proof that they were, but I think it was mostly younger kids that were like in their teens, or they were over 18, like young hippie kids. It wasn't like young children. I couldn't imagine them doing that, but I'm sure they did. I mean, Hank Harrison, Courtney Love's mom, is said to have given her LSD at a really young age, so it's possible. But what I know about the MK Ultra program is that they would need certain conditions for these kids to be in order for their programming to work. And 90% of the time, what they're doing is like trauma-based DID, like torture, to where they're pushing these kids so close to the edge where they finally break and separate into a separate personality. And then they train these second personalities, third personalities, fourth personalities, where the person themselves is kind of like blacked out. And then their DID, their other personality, takes over, where they have these different identities. And it's just multiple identity disorder that they like inflict into you. They like force you into having these multiple identities, where you then don't remember what you're doing, but one of your personalities might be a cold-blooded assassin. You know what I mean? And they might use LSD, they might use torture techniques, they might use extreme situations of like isolationism or neglect, or putting them in these different programs where they're doing like electroshock therapy, or like something where they're doing actual experiments. There was so many different experiments going on trying to figure out how to break somebody. And so I think that they needed ideal conditions for that. And so that's what the benefit of this gifted and talented program is. You may not even be gifted and talented. They don't really give a shit if you are gifted or talented. They're trying to find out if you have these certain, maybe they're trying to, just like they said with the IQ test, like it wasn't made to find out how smart you are. It was made to find the dumb people. It was made to find the people that aren't that smart and need help with special education programs and extra things. So maybe that's what these were. It was to find people who were more susceptible to programming as opposed to smarter. Like, okay, these kids are actually smarter. They're less susceptible to programming. We don't want these kids versus we do want these kids. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
my theory on it.
Yeah. And I mean, tell me why, like, because the Stargate and Gateway process became declassified in 2003. So by the CIA, and they spent over $20 million on remote viewing and ESP for spying. So it's like, why wouldn't they use? I mean, and it's literally called the Gate program. So why wouldn't it be an extension of the Gateway
Yeah, and
process?
it's called the Gateway process. Yeah.
Yeah, to
Well, and
conduct these experiments and understand it better, and to like condition us to be spies or have those abilities and be then by default ahead of other countries in that area.
yeah. And I mean, it makes you wonder where they got the idea from. And my theory is aliens. I feel like they've realized that aliens that they've discovered, bodies they've brought in, technology they've discovered, it reveals that they communicate telepathically. And so that's why they're trying to tap in to telepathic communication so that we have somebody here or a group of people here or a program here focused on communicating telepathically with extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
Or maybe we have extraterrestrials in our possession currently that they're trying to find people who can communicate with them.
Oh, you know what? Actually, speaking of that, there was a video I saw recently of somebody from Congress. They weren't saying like definitive proof or anything about that. They were just talking about how they really think and believe that there's extraterrestrial living in our oceans with us, and they've been there for millennium, like legit. I don't know if you could type it in, I could.
That's kind of what we were talking about with the Pacific
because that's like
video.
that to me.
Purple orbs.
That to me
Yeah,
sounds like the
purple orbs.
most logical. You know,
What are you talking about? Congress? Somebody in Congress said it?
somebody in Congress, something like that. I don't know if it was Congress or somebody in a position of power, and it's a name of somebody. I have literally no idea, but it's literally them walking. They're walking on the street. They're talking to somebody with a camera, and and they're talking about that.
Oh, so it's not an official
No,
congressional meeting?
No, not at like Congress. No, of course not. It's gonna be a congressional meeting. But for somebody to like say that in their in a video and actually be okay with just like walking on the strip on their way to maybe a hearing or something like that, and just
I mean,
like
maybe you can see it.
spew it.
I can't tell.
Let me see. What did you type in?
Congressman shows never before seen video at military UFO hearing.
No.
I highly doubt I'm going to be able to find this video.
Yeah, you probably won't. I found it. I mean, I just saw it like on Instagram Reels where I see all the other crazy stuff that's going on. Barack Obama.
But Kim is there anything else you wanted to do before we finish up with this video, Kim?
I don't know. I guess it's just important to note that the gate testings, like the testing that they used, it actually mirrors military aptitude tests. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see.
Yeah, that it all funnels, kind of like what that other video was saying, how the CIA, like mind control MK Ultra experiments and testing that they did for their subjects was the same kind of testing that they were doing in the GATE program.
Yeah, and it's like, I think maybe this could correlate to the thing that you said you found in the files, that the Epstein had some sort of building.
Yeah, he had a cabin at the Interlochen school. That's so weird.
Yeah, so it's like maybe maybe it really was like a recruitment thing. So like the CIA is like looking for unconventional thinkers for intel work, and like I don't know, just doing like a recruitment program low key and then like giving them scholarships and whatnot for achieving that and making that possible.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I don't know. Again, this is all for entertainment purposes only.
This is for entertainment purposes only.
And I definitely feel like I want to finish Stranger Things. I don't know why, but I only got to like season 2, but I want to restart it and watch it all the way through. Everyone says it's great. I liked it. I don't know why I stopped watching it, but it is weird that the parallels that I can think of just based on what I have seen. So
The Jeffrey Epstein Scholarship Lodge. nearing completion at the newest rental unit blank campus. So yeah, there's a straight up Epstein scholarship cabin at the Interlochen School, and him and Ghislaine would go, I'm assuming, stay there.
Yeah, see, so it was I feel like it was in part for recruitment. They're seeing who would be good for working for the CIA.
The mother of a former student once accused him of trying to groom her 13-year-old. Well, her and every other 13-year-old. Come on, ma'am. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just was curious what the Interlochen School was all about, or what it looked like, or if I could see this cabin, really. Not Ted Kaczynski. What?
Show us the cabin.
I got it. So they're saying that this picture was Ted Kaczynski, also in school with Epstein.
Stranger Things is the shit in the urinal.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
right. That is right.
Yeah, it is. Okay, well, I got this last video Kim wanted to play.
Yeah, so this is the Museum of Tarot guy that I was talking about in the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, you should follow this guy for sure if you don't.
Yeah, he talks about some interesting stuff, and I don't know his actual name. I just know him by the Museum of Tarot, which is, I know what his TikTok channel and YouTube channel are called. So, but yeah, this is the first video that I saw about the GATE program that got me thinking about it. So I figured, why not share it?
Did you drink the pink idiot juice? Do you remember them making you swish with this crap? That was not a good thing. As you all probably realize, the pink liquid that they tricked so
Does he
many
have so much of
families
it?
into and so many children into taking back when we were growing up in grade school, and very specifically in the gifted and talented classes, was a very concentrated fluoride mouth rinse. And my belief is that they tricked everybody into taking this in order to damage you. The most recent studies into fluoride's effects on intelligence are very conclusive, and they're the complete opposite of the bullshit and propaganda that we were fed growing up. Studies such as this on developmental fluoride neurotoxicity, a systemic review and meta-analysis, conclude that children in high fluoride areas had significantly lower IQ scores than those who lived in low fluoride areas, and that the results support the adverse effects of high fluoride exposure on children.
Yeah, did you know that they add fluoride in the water?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that hasn't always been the case. Like, why did they start adding fluoride into the water? They say for our teeth, but...
Yeah, why do you think? I think,
Why would they give a crap about our teeth?
yeah, they don't care about our teeth.
Yeah, it's your own responsibility. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing with all these people having to put on like regulations on certain things, like underage stuff. Now there's a lot of stuff these days where everybody has to, like, example, GTA is going to have you age verify yourself. So like, there's these gaming games where you have to upload your ID to play it, to age verify
That's
yourself. And it's like,
BS.
I'm not gonna give you. That's an invasion of my privacy. I'm not gonna give you
100%,
my
dude.
ID.
Yeah,
and
am I
it's not
being-
up. It's not up to you to regulate children in who's on your gaming system.
It's up
That's
to
up
the
to the parents to
parents.
do
Yeah.
that. You know.
Am I being detained? Do I need to show you my ID right now? I
Yeah,
don't think so.
I'm not doing that. It's ridiculous.
No, super ridiculous, dude.
Will I do
Hannah-
it if I have to play?
So-
Possibly.
Hannah's a dental hygienist. She said if it's the pink tab, that's not fluoride. Yet we were all told that it was. Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Damn, Hannah,
What-
didn't know that.
What does a disclosing agent mean, though? What is a disclosing agent? What kind of information are they trying to
Oh
disclose?
wait, this is what I wanted to ask for my international viewers. Do they put fluoride in the water in like the UK or in Australia or wherever you guys are at? Because as far as I know, it's a US thing, but I don't know if that's an everywhere thing.
I don't know. It's tricky because there's supposedly all these studies that show that fluoride does help your teeth and all of this stuff. But
I believe it does. I just don't think that the side
don't
effects
know.
are good. There's probably multiple different side effects to it, and you're getting one benefit of your teeth being stronger when you could be using the, what is it, hypoxia stuff.
yeah, everybody do your own research. Like, who knows? There's scientific studies that go both ways, that prove both ways. So everyone just do
Discovery-
your own research.
How about this? Discovery in Colorado in the early 1900s. Dentist Dr. Frederick Mackay, or Mackey, Mr. Mackey, okay, noticed that residents of Colorado Springs, had brown stained teeth, but remarkably low rates of tooth decay. He and other researchers eventually linked the staining and decay resistance to naturally occurring fluoride in the water. Are you serious? That came from Colorado Springs? That's where we're at.
719, baby.
That's wild. So yeah, that's why they did add fluoride, though, was for your teeth.
Oh wait, you really? I didn't realize you really didn't know.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that that's why they actually started adding it to the water. Like if they had another reason for
That's
it.
what they say.
Well, yeah, that's what they say. And I wanted to know more. More of the reason I looked into it was when. I wanted to know when they started doing it. So his first trial was in 1945. And the first city to fluoridate their water was Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I'm gonna shout out a quick toothpaste out there. Boca toothpaste is a great toothpaste brand. My hygienist has suggested that to me, and we live by that now.
Yeah, I got some Boca
So-
toothpaste too. We also got the No BS tablet chewable toothpaste, and we've been digging that actually a lot.
Yeah,
And my teeth have been getting sensitive, and it's definitely helped.
yeah. It's fun to like chew the tablet and like have it foam up and stuff too.
But that's the fluoride free, the hypoxa. What is it called? Hypoxaapatite something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's supposed to remineralize your teeth and help cure cavities.
That's what somebody in the chat had mentioned earlier too. That they
Which-
use that.
We've all been told that cavities can't be cured, but I guess they can be.
All right, well, I'll get this video going again. Sorry, I just
neurodevelopment. But aside from simple IQ, what else were they getting rid of? Well, this study focuses on cognitive impairment induced by excessive fluoride, and it shows that prolonged exposure to excessive fluoride causes fluoride accumulation in the hippocampus, resulting in cognitive dysfunction. If you've been following my work for any amount of time, you know that I've exposed you to the work of the late Dr. Michael Persinger, who proved conclusively that the hippocampus is where telepathy, clairvoyance, and intuition occur within the brain. Every animal has intuition. We are supposed to have intuition. A dog or a pet will know when a person is a piece of crap. An animal will know when a hunter is lining it up in his scope. We're supposed to have the same ability to sense danger, to sense BS, and largely that has been cut out of us. The last few years could not have happened if people could sense danger and know when something was up. Yet, here we are. And the fact that this crap directly impacts the area of the brain that allows for intuition is no coincidence. So if you were a gay kid, what's your mental ability supposed to look like? Well, I can show you, because I never took this. My parents never signed the permission slip, and I was single.
he said gate hoss.
Yeah.
So if he's a gay kid,
Singled out
what
to
it
go
sounds
stand
like.
on the side of the class and watch everybody else line up to take this crap every week. So I retained my mental faculties. I also never used fluoride toothpaste. I still to this day use non-fluoride toothpaste, and my teeth are just fine, but the rest of my mind is pretty damn sharp as well. Let me show you with a simple
That's a
example.
flex.
When everybody learns the alphabet, they learn it by rote with this little jingle. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's slow, it's stupid, it really doesn't use your full capacity. So when I'm thinking about something or recalling something like the alphabet, I'm not doing it by rote. I'm not doing it how we were all taught back in the day. I think that's very slow. I think it's designed to slow us down. What I'm doing is looking at a picture of it. So I've got A through Z right now. I can flip that backwards and I can do Z through A and I can recite that to you. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C,
okay,
D,
dude,
A,
he's
because
flexing
I'm
now.
looking at it. I could take it and fold it on itself, and I can go A, Z, B, Y, C, X, all the way down to M and N, because they're standing next to one another, like two columns. I can turn that backwards and upside down. I could write it upside down and backwards, much like Da Vinci used to do in his notebooks. People always talk about Nikola Tesla's ability to do this and build a device in 3 dimensions and move it around. That's really quite easy. I retain this ability because I didn't destroy it within my own mind. My memory, mechanical aptitude, linguistic ability, and intuitive ability are still pretty damn good, and I use them to get to the top of a very demanding technical career and retire early. And I don't say that to show off. I say that because I know that if you were identified for these programs as well, if you were gifted and talented, it was for a very good reason. And some of these abilities, these X-Men abilities, might still be latent in you or have been damaged, but there are ways to get them back. A while back, I exposed everybody to the work of Dr. Meg Patterson, who was using a little electrostimulation device to help cure addiction. And she was able to cure the addiction of people like Pete Townsend from The Who and other celebrities with no withdrawal. And one of the interesting side effects of Dr. Meg's technology is that it had some very interesting benefits. such as rehabilitating people's memories and increasing their IQ from 15 to 30 IQ points. Basically, what they found is that it triggered neurogenesis and rehabilitated people's neurotransmitters back to their original state of what they should have been before they were damaged by drugs and alcohol. Alcohol abuse can damage the memory. It's called Korsakoff syndrome.
Yeah,
They
it
were
definitely
able
can.
to rehabilitate this memory, and they also noticed that people were increasing their IQ from 15 to 30 IQ points over the course of the few weeks that they were doing this treatment. So it tracks that if somebody has had similar
was this
damage
treatment?
done to their cognitive ability by fluoride instead of
What was this treatment called?
I don't know.
transmitters back to their original state of what they should have been before they were damaged by drugs and alcohol. Alcohol abuse can damage the memory. It's called Korsakoff syndrome. They were able to rehabilitate this memory, and they also noticed that people were increasing their IQ from 15 to 30 IQ points over the course of the few weeks that they were doing this treatment. So it tracks that if somebody has had similar damage done to their cognitive ability by fluoride instead of alcohol or drugs, that by using the same technology, they could get back closer to what they were always supposed to be and gain some of that back. Let me ask you honestly, how many of you got where you wanted to in life? How many of you struggle every day feeling like there's more ability inside of you that you just can't seem to unlock and access anymore? And how far do you think you would have gotten in life if somebody years ago hadn't damaged you? Moreover, how far do you think you could get in the future if you had full access to what's inside of you, a better memory, and a higher IQ? How much better could life be today if you were back to normal? If you were impressed by my demonstration reciting the alphabet backwards, or you've seen my lives or other videos and wonder how I retain my recall and my memory for these topics, it's because I use the technology I have access to. We have a Dr. Patterson net device in our collection, and we've recreated it as the HaloNet device that we offer, and I use the HaloNet every week. And without making any claims that could potentially get me in trouble with the medical establishment, I can tell you that the HaloNet is a replica of Dr. Patterson's original device. So though we offer the HaloNet for research and experimentation purposes only, this technology was once massively suppressed, and we love that we're finally able to give you access to it. You and your children might have been
Interesting.
tricked into this pink.
So yeah, somebody asked, what does he have? Cherry 7-Up in there?
Code red for sure.
Code red, yeah, for real. That was interesting though. And yeah, it's so weird though, and I've honestly always believed they really want us to be dumb. They want to dumb us down as much as possible in order to keep us submissive, you know? And
Pacified.
a bunch of people were shouting out mushrooms in the comments, and I've got a second/third, maybe ultra shout out the mushrooms, because mushrooms are instrumental in my recovery process, and they're an amazing therapeutic tool. And Kim and I have had conversations about how her brother thinks, and we also think that like intelligent life came from mushrooms because mushrooms themselves are intelligent life. And I think humans exponentially evolved after eating psychedelic mushrooms.
Dude,
So-
I fourth that because literally lately I've been taking. I did this before, and I need to continue to do this always. But the those like mushroom pills, they're like all the medicinal mushrooms. The lion's mane especially though, and then all the other ones that you can. They have like ones that are like 10 in one, with like certain milligram doses of mushrooms in there. But like literally, I've been taking those for the last week now, and significantly better. Waking up in the morning, I don't wake up with just like immediate anxiety as soon as I wake up. Just been like getting a little better sleep, calmer throughout the day, not feeling that high anxiety, and not getting so in my head all day about stuff. And so, like, I swear by it.
That's
Swear by it.
awesome.
yeah, that's
I
cool.
love
Plus,
that.
it's also because I've been getting all these advertisements for Rise Coffee. You know, that mushroom
The
coffee.
mud cop.
The
Yeah, mud water.
coffee or whatever. Yeah, it's not the mud
Like-
water. I think that's totally. I think it's the
There's
same, but
different
Rise
brands.
might be the brand. But I've been seeing that all over. Now everyone else out there is probably going to get this on their phones too, or whatever. So I'm sorry. Because it is annoying when you get that over and over and over, and you're just like, I don't need this right now.
But there is science behind nootropics and definitely nootropic mushrooms and psychedelic mushrooms. And
The very fact that psychedelic mushrooms, or just all mushrooms in general, are connected to the ground that they grow from and have ways to connect to all the natural systems going on is insane. Like, we should be eating that.
yeah.
And ironically enough, I hate eating mushrooms. Like
Proxy
regular
Party
mushrooms.
says that I can't recommend growing lion's mane enough. Super easy.
Yeah, exactly.
cool.
100%. 100%.
We should be growing, whatever produce or like at least herbs. Like there's so much that we could be growing at our own houses instead of having to go out and spend the money on them. That's probably, they're all, poisoned with whatever.
Yeah, I would love to start a little in-house greenhouse down here in the little storage area. It'd be sick.
But yeah,
All
I
right,
think
well,
that about wraps it up, guys.
yeah, it
was
does.
really
Thank
nice
you guys
hanging
so much.
out.
We've hit a goal. Well, I wouldn't say goal, but we've hit a new personal best, new record. 350, nearly, maybe more, 350 concurrent viewers at a time. And the viewer counter was working, which is even better. I got the chat to work. We did not have a single audio issue in this live stream. Can we please give it up for us? No audio issues. And we added a microphone and another person, so I'm pretty pumped.
We did that literally right before we started the chat. We knew I was going to be in it, but yeah. Shout out to the tech.
We're just climbing up the leaderboards left and right.
New
Climb up
record.
the leaderboard.
All right. Well, we love you guys. Thank you so much for chilling, hanging, vaping.
Nick, are we gonna go DJ?
Oh,
live?
yeah. I mean, if you still want to, I was down to DJ tonight. If you guys are interested, Austin and I are going to set up well, I'll let you finish answering.
I was just gonna say I got my photo editing done. That's what I was doing at the beginning of this. I had to get some work done. But yeah.
So if you guys
I'm
want to
ready rock and
jam,
roll, so yeah,
if you guys want to vibe to some house music, we're going to go live. I don't know. We'll probably try and set it up right after this is done. I'm going to put Bodie down, pee, and then try and work on getting that set up. So check back here soon. We'll be going live probably in the next like half hour-ish.
We would love to see all 342 of you over there, or however many people.
We'd love to see,
right now.
we'd love to see all 342 of you guys, plus your closest friends and family members in the chat. So come on over, baby.
Yeah. Kim, thank you for leading such a great,
Kim, great
podcast again
topic.
today. Good job.
Every week you've been pulling out mad good topics and good research, and I really appreciate you doing all the hard work
Right.
for us.
Heck yeah. Thanks for hanging out and asking the right questions. I hope everyone was entertained and excited to see you guys next Monday. And of course, the regular scheduled programming by DJ Petrovsky will take place on Friday.
Yeah.
Everyone loves his deep dives. I promise they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, as much work as they are, as much as I would love to stop doing them and just go back, like go to live streaming, there's just nothing like those videos. I don't know. There's just something. I love them. I love rewatching them. I love putting them together. It's a lot of work, but I feel like for somebody who doesn't know anything about a topic, you can watch my video and come out of it feeling like you don't really need to do that much other research. And I feel like, or you want to do more research into it, So I don't know. Definitely not going away, but I wanted to bring some more content to you guys, and I wanted to do something where we have more interaction, it's more personal.
True.
So, yeah.
Love you guys.
Love everybody.
Love you
Sleep
guys.
safe.
I'm
Sleep
Haas
safe.
Photography, by the way.
DJ Haas Photography. Thanks for joining us.
Kimbo
Okay.
Slice,
We-
DJ Petrovsky.
We might have to make a habit out of this. I liked having you here.
Yeah, it was
I know
nice
it's
having
fun.
you here.
It's fun. Well, last week when I was in the chat, it was like, man, I was so involved in the chat. I was all up in there. I was like, sheesh, dude, I should definitely be on there. It'd be
You were
fun.
all up in there.
All up in that chat, man. That chizette. But yes, the live the back to back is going to be here on the Sobering Stories channel. So don't go anywhere. Just give it some time and come back and party with us. Yo, $5 in the chat.
$5 in the
Let's
chat.
go. Thanks, Cherry B. Let's
Cherry
go.
B, you're the best. We really appreciate that. This is how we're paying our bills now. So any and all donations are appreciated. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and supporting the channel.
Is there?
You guys are cool.
You guys are the best.
Yeah. Somebody
Yeah, I'll
said
love
that
her.
we're cool. You guys are cool.
This is
Seriously.
nothing without you guys.
The
You guys are
community
cool.
The community that Nick has built, truly, you guys are all amazing. I love hanging out with you guys every week. So I look
Hey,
forward to
Proxy
next
Party
Monday.
just followed me on X. F yeah. Way to go, Proxy Party.
There you go. Check me out on Instagram, Haas Photography.
Yeah,
Anyway.
follow Haas if you don't. Haas Photography on Instagram. He's trying to get more followers on there, and his photos are phenomenal.
We're so good at Midwestern goodbyes.
I was just gonna say, welcome to our Midwestern goodbye.
Yeah, for real though.
All right, we
you
love y'all.
guys.
Love you guys. Peace.
Great banter, great topics, good stuff.